should know about the eSports in your pocket.
Welcome back, everybody, here to the FISSURE Universe Ep.3. We are jumping into game number 3 of this lower bracket elimination between BetBoom and Tundra. One of these teams will make it through as we jump into the draft immediately. And this time, the Sand King actually squeaks by. BetBoom get it themselves. No Omni Knight, no Nature's Prophet, Tinker, Lena, Bat Rider, Doom, or Monkey King. So what do we even have left? You have 2 seconds, Zach. Give me an answer.
Shadow Demon.
Okay, yeah, actually, pretty good answer.
There you go. I do think it's a pretty good pick if they want it. Ooh, they're going to go for their Naga Siren instead. That was getting banned out against them quite often in these early phases. I think it happened in Game 1. Game 2, it was actually ignored. But it looks like they're going to go back for it here. The potential support Naga or carry Naga that not just Tundra, but many teams have been running. However, Pure is a very good Naga Siren player. They've done some wacky stuff, like also then draft the Morphling, and then you have no idea what's going on. We'll see if we get to that point. But for now, Naga into Sand King. Not a matchup you would expect to be picking the Naga into, but it's a little better than it used to be. But you could also just do the support Naga and it won't matter.
Agreed. If you guys are trying to get your hands on some new Arcanas, make sure to participate in the giveaway from 1xBet. Just type !1xgive in chat to get some information as to how to join. So jumping to the next set of bands, the Alchemist, the Mirana, which we've seen Mirana actually do quite well against the Sand King picks, right? You can flex it between core and support. Just a generally strong combo with Naga Siren. If you end up running like the Naga 5, the carry Mirana, it's cool. It works.
I think so. I think this probably is leaning toward a Naga support because it won't care as much about the Sand King, and it seemed pretty good. The Deluge, good damage, status resistance, Ensnare being nice setup. You can also pop Song when Epi comes out and just kind of reset through that. Heal even once you have the Shard. So I've been enjoying seeing the Naga support, but you just still have to respect it because Sand King alone is not enough to deal with a carry Naga. So if you don't put enough respect into it, you might still see it come out. Banning wise, what are you worried about BetBoom taking? I feel like they've played kind of a variety of drafts. They've been doing a lot of Ursa and Dragonite.
Yeah.
Do you want to ban those here?
I feel like you ban the DK at this point because they have, I mean, after last game, you did not have an appropriate response to it. Unless you want to go for the Viper, but you don't have 18 picks. So it's not like you can pick the Viper here with leaving the DK open. Or you ban the Viper yourself and go for like a DK pick here. I don't know.
Beastmaster's still in the pool too.
Okay.
Though I don't know if you want to reveal it right away.
They get themselves the Shadow Demon, which makes sense. Something that I've seen pretty much everyone go for when they can.
It's pretty strong. Disruption's going to last forever with that Deluge. If it is support Naga, this could be the support duo. But if you end up running carry Naga, you'll get some free illusions from your Shadow Demon. That could be extra annoying for the enemy team. Disruption's a nice save versus the Blink Burrow Strike Epi as well, because you can just dodge out so much damage.
Yep. Okay. I like the Grimstroke here once again. It's actually been something that we see a lot of teams run with the Sand King. Not necessarily just for the double Burrow Strike. Like, that's not even really had any kind of impact in the game. It's more of just Blink Burrow Strike into the Inkswell follow-up, stuck inside of the Sandstorm, maybe even the Epi as well. Like, the initiation potential and the damage that comes out from this combo is really strong. And now you still have other heroes you can synergize it with, primarily being, again, that Dragonite that they could pick up on the 18 if they want.
I mean, I wouldn't mind it because not only is the Dragon Tail good, but Fire Dragon's been so popular. and that's naturally good versus Naga. So it is another way to answer that potential threat of Naga carry. But even the Naga support, you don't want to let those illusions run around. So being able to cleave through them is quite nice. So they're going to go for the Phoenix, the support Phoenix. A lot more team fight with that egg coming back out. The common response to this was Snapfire.
10 seconds remaining.
Lil Shredder did get nerfed, but I still think it's not bad versus the Phoenix if you want to run that. And you have Ensnare set up from one of your potential supports for easy Mortimer's Kisses. Wind Ranger, not as nerfed as Snapfire, and she's also a good response to the egg. Long attack range, build up some attack speed, usually like Gleipnir or something like that. Helps you kill the egg pretty safely, as well as being a ranged hero, so you can be far back, not get soulbound, not be in the Inkswell, deal with the Sandstorm.
I mean, you can still go for an Ursa here too if you don't want to run the Wind Ranger as the like safe lane. So if you want to pick up like a Ursa for pure, you can definitely do that on 24 pick, and it still actually matches their draft pretty well. It's not terrible, the Naga Siren. We've actually, I think, seen a Naga Siren Ursa lane before, because the Deluge, the slow from that is so overwhelming that you can actually just run them down with the Ursa.
BetBoom teams turn.
Here you go for Centaur. Actually, I like that a lot because Centaur combos really well with any of these heroes if you want to run them as supports, but especially the Shadow Demon and the Naga Siren. That status resistance you get gives Stomp extra value, and you just run people down. The slow means you get multiple double edges off in team fights. If the egg does come out, or even if you're soulbound, you can still move. You just have to move with your teammate. So when you're stampeded, you can both get away from that initiation and then just reset after either the egg pops or the soulbind ends. I like that idea. I wonder if you can now pick Ursa, but they have Shadow Demon, so it's a little annoying, but your lane should be okay. Maybe you don't want to have to force yourself to build MKB right off the bat. Well, someone's going to have to do it anyways.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a big fan of the Shadow Demon Centaur lane. It's just super good. I don't know what heroes you can actually bring in from the carry position that deal with this super well. Because, like, yeah, I mean, you could look for an Ursa yourself, but you don't really want to run Ursa into Shadow Demon, Naga Siren. Even the Wind Ranger is not great. It doesn't really win the lane against the Centaur anyway, just because of the Shadow Demon's effect. So I'm curious what they want for Saika here. Like, what potential hero he could even pick into this lane. Because I feel like you might as well just pick it now, instead of picking, like, your potential reveal of the Sand King position. It's like, you see your off lane.
Morphling?
It's actually not bad. That's a pretty good pick, actually. It's a pretty good Morphling game, especially if you consider the fact that you could be able to get the Wind Rangers like Shackle and Wind Runs. Very good call. Very good call.
So you know it's going to be carry Morphling, because I think the window to flex it into support is gone at this point with the Grimstroke and the Phoenix. So really you're just wondering where that Sand King is going.
5 seconds remaining.
Are you happy running Wind Ranger carry into Morphling? You have last pick on Tundra, so actually you still have the flexibility. All you're really revealing is a offlane Centaur and a support Shadow Demon, and the Naga and Wind Ranger could move around a bit. Take out the Earth Spirit. That would have been an early tempo hero, natural vessel builder. Really put the pressure on the Morphling while he's still trying to scale up. We see Morphlings need like 3 items before they really come online.
Tundra eSports turn to ban.
I'm trying to think like what I mean, they actually go back for the Earth Spirit ban again, which is interesting. Because I don't feel like it's an exceptionally good Earth Spirit game, but they're actually really afraid of whatever this like 24 pick Earth Spirit is.
I think it's just the pressure it brings. You gank early, get the Spirit Vessel, run at Morph. Spirit Vessel versus Sunray.
I mean, it's not bad.
If you want to pick any melee hero, you just always get kicked away from the creep wave.
Yeah, I mean, I get what the hero brings. I just haven't seen it like have a dominant performance lately, and maybe Thompson can bring that, but I guess the silence is also quite good this game.
10 seconds remaining.
I think that might be one of the primary reasons as well. The silence against like the heroes like Phoenix and Morph is pretty strong early with the Vessel, like you were mentioning. Okay. So we're running out of reserve time here for both teams. They ban the Viper. Is it just the Dragon Knight?
Tundra eSports.
Could be.
Okay, Kunkka, similar.
Good versus the Wind Ranger and Stampede because you have the X mark. But your combo is pretty telegraphed, so you can always be disruption saved. Or the song can come out.
10 seconds remaining.
If you don't mind Wind Ranger versus Kunkka in the mid lane, I feel like you could go Ursa. Or grab someone to shut down the Kunkka.
Whoa.
Like the Cheese Dazzle mid.
I was trying to think to myself, I was like, I would rather just shut down the Kunkka, and then my brain is always like, melee hero, pick Huskar. But Huskar actually doesn't do exceptionally well against the Kunkka. But Dazzle owns this hero. This is really cool. I think for the most part, Tundra are either going to draw at minimum all three of their lanes while winning potentially two of them. Because like Centaur versus the Morphling lane, you don't really kill the Morphling unless he gets, you know, caught out of position like 4 or 5 stacks from Whitemon, and then it's just like, you know, disruption into stomp. Maybe then he dies. It's unlikely though. But the safe lane for Pure should be fairly straightforward. Like Miro, I think, is going to be spending a lot of time kind of dragging and pulling creeps into the jungle and taking advantage of the Dust Devil. And mid lane should be a beatdown from Thompson.
Should be. We've seen a lot of Dazzles slip up a little bit. Like you'll pick an early lead, but Dazzle excels in the one-on-one. Not good in early fights until he picks up several levels and several items to start getting the combo going. But in that window between, I'd say, like level 5 to whenever you finish the Aghanims, that's when Dazzle is weak to being ganked and killed off, especially before you pick up Grave, which usually doesn't come out to like level 8. And if Dazzle gets killed in that time, it often saves the game of the enemy mid laner, which in this case would be the Kunkka. And if he gets one successful gank off with X mark, with a rotation from any of his supports, he's back in it, moving around, just dropping the boat on people.
I like it. I mean, I like the idea. I think Thompson, as long as he plays his lane right, is careful of maybe a early Phoenix or Grimstroke gank. Because it is pretty easy for them to set up a Grimstroke gank, right? Like an X Torrent into Inkswell would be enough to probably kill the Dazzle. But if he gets a decent time to Ags and is able to farm his like triangle and into his like, I mean, I guess you can farm the Ancients without even having the Aghanims Scepter once you have Nothel, because you have the Poison Bloom. And farming those gets you to your Aghanim Scepter exceptionally fast. So I am curious if he's going to be able to do that, or if they can shut him down. I think that's kind of a linchpin of the Tundra draft here. So we will see as we jump into, once again, this elimination game number 3 of BetBoom versus Tundra. It is going to be the Whirlwind facet for the Wind Ranger, which I think is the better facet, personally. Of course, Deluge for the Naga Siren, which is pretty much the standard for support. Horsepower on Centaur. He had the double edge queued up. Switched it last moment to horsepower.
I think Whirlwind will be pretty cool with the Dazzle as well, because as you hit multiple heroes, you're affecting their armor, and then you'll get that Whirlwind damage in from the Universal Wind Ranger. We do see it can take time to ramp up, and
yes,
the question mark will be if Morphling has a really good game. He is a hero where sometimes you do just want overwhelming physical damage, or it doesn't have to be physical, but just like you need consistent DPS to get through the strength morph, which Focus Fire is good for. So we'll see how much they can shut down Morphling. Starting with a disruption, maybe first blood would be a great way to slow him down.
Heck yeah, that's really strong.
And Thompson secured that with the Shadow Wave. Yes, so the counter pick has already picked up first blood. Let's see what he spends his money on. He's got nearly 600 gold to spend. I don't think you need to rush a bottle right away, though maybe versus Kunkka it could be worth it, but a lot of times you can still just get whatever you need, like buy a small item and then still make it to the bottle in time for the 2-minute water rune.
He's not going to have like as much harassment level 1 because of the fact that he goes for the Shadow Wave, but he's still going to be able to secure his CS, get his early level 2, and then from there, in some trouble for the Kunkka. Ooh, we're paused.
Anime profile pic? Sugoi.
I like that the compendium came out, so everyone is using the voice lines. This is the noisiest the games have been for a while. Everyone wants to spam their new voice lines.
Yeah, I haven't decided if I'm going to get any of them. I've been looking through and I'm like, there's a couple good ones, but hard to decide,
It's a tough choice. Very important to your gameplay.
It's like sometimes you get them and you just completely forget. Yeah, okay. Mid lane looking exactly kind of like what I expected this to turn out like. GPK really struggling. He's also trying to bait Thompson to throw a spell at him, which I think he might have just overbaited it. We'll have to see. Top lane, though, really good stuff coming out from BetBoom's off lane. Getting a decent amount of damage in. Oh, boy. GPK, you had your time in the limelight. You got to see one creep wave. You will never see it again.
Nice play there, though. Sick torrent bait to get himself another CS. You gotta back up!
Thompson's kind of got himself a little bit low here. I'm curious. I mean, you definitely go max poison touch on the mid lane here. So I imagine we're going to be seeing him do that. Yeah, 2 points poison touch. They do manage to bring down the Naga Siren. All right. Once again, the Grimstroke Sand King lane looking very strong.
Very powerful combo. If you just step up a little bit too far, you are at risk of being killed. Mid lane. Is Thompson gonna get both water runes actually?
Yeah, there's no way you can contest on the Kunkka.
Looks like it. Well, I thought maybe because he saw Thompson going top, I thought he'd like run for the rune, but I guess taking that time to secure whatever CS he could.
Yeah, that lane's gonna be real hard. He actually TP's back after picking up the water rune just so that he can't farm the wave. All right, Dobson. 3 minutes for the Lotuses. Miro's got the Dust Devil going, gonna prevent Tundra from wanting to contest that one. Bottom lane though, Whitemon in some trouble. Great dive in from Toronto Tokyo. He should burn to the damage there, and he will, as he's then going to look for the Lotus himself. Ramses does actually get the kill with a stomp. All right, nicely done.
Next, taking horsepower, he's got that double bracer. Lots of early strength. Third bracer almost finished.
Dude, can you... Go ahead, sorry.
I was going to say, this top lane will start shaping up to just being a farm fest between these two heroes. Because you have waveform, you can sit at pretty high agility without too much risk of being burst by Centaur. And we might just see both supports going to go stack quite a lot, while both cores just take turns farming, creep cutting, moving to the jungle.
Yeah, exactly. I absolutely agree. I think that's what usually ends up happening in the Centaur versus Morph matchup. Like, they leave the lane, and then it just turns into... Oh, hold on. Mid lane. This little X-Torrent pullback is a decent chunk of damage to Thompson. But yeah, it's like the supports end up leaving the lane, and then it just ends up being Centaur versus Morphling, right? So they'll just kind of chill, do that while they can.
Whitemon is zoning GPK off. Shot the little smileys. Oh, I see. You want to come bother me even though I'm being counterpicked by Dazzle. That's real cool. Real cool of you, Whitemon. Maybe thinking about
this-
diving, using Shadow Point for vision to keep applying the poison touch.
Yeah, I was like, that's gonna refresh. I think he's dead here. One auto attack
Uphill
doesn't
miss?
get the uphill miss. He's super dead. He's trying to go for the
Can he
deny,
make
but
it?
no. Whitemon secures it just in case.
If there was an uphill miss, that might have worked. That is a cool way to gank with Shadow Demon, because this is your way to get out of the poison touch, is to run into the tree so he can't hit you. But Shadow Poison just revealing you long enough to launch that auto attack. Really neat way to gank. And he's actually hanging around here to see if Kunkka will TP back in, and I think they're going to go for another dive.
He scans it. He's like, wait a minute. Are they doing this again? But he's actually playing really deep on the right side. They're going to push with this catapult for sure. They are bringing in the Naga Siren as well. The TP coming through from the Grimstroke. There's going to be a ensnare into the Deluge, and with this, GPK in a lot of trouble. They're trying to chase down Thompson, but he is pretty tanky. Disruption out from Whitemon. Do they have the damage to finally bring him down? He needs a heal, but he's not going to get it. A great kill here from BetBoom is now looking for 9 class. The supports doing the work. Double kill for save. Absolutely massive punish. This is okay. How many times have we seen this happen with Dazzle mids?
All the time.
Literally every time, right?
It's the counterplay. You have to kind of do something like this on the side of whoever's being dazzled. You know he's weak to those rotations. So the mid laner just has to grit his teeth, survive for long enough, and you go for kills like this. Maybe not planning to lose your Phoenix like that, and the X didn't quite connect, so the boat doesn't connect. All right, I thought that was about to be a 6-second kill on Thompson to completely recover the game for Kunkka, but a bit of a misexecution there.
Yeah, he's in a really good spot now. Still, I mean, he's supposed to be at the top of the net worth. I think the main thing is whether or not, you know, Kunkka can find a way back into this game, because he's essentially a glorified support right now with his net worth. He has level 6 at least, but with boat being on cooldown, it hurts really bad. They do at least manage to take that fight as the catapult was coming, right? And they, you know, you don't lose your tower immediately, which is a big deal. Might lose it now, though. Yeah, here comes the reel in.
Reel in?
Yeah, goodbye, GPK. Absolute no shot at getting away from this.
Reel in reposition is so good.
Yeah.
And snare lasting as long as it does at level 1. I think if they nerf it, that'll be what they aim for, is so that you can't reel in as much. Because 2.75 seconds to reel people in, it's just a long time. It's like 4-staffing someone at level 1, or whenever you take that ensnare. Yeah.
This is kind of exactly how I expected the Tundra draft to play out in the early game here, right? You just leave these side lanes alone. Like, what's like, no one can pressure the Centaur. Your Wind Ranger should not be pressurable by the Sand King, and you're just making sure that this Kunkka has absolutely no ability to get into this game. They are going to go ahead and try and stack the supports on BetBoom. Are farming definitely better than their counterparts on Tundra, since they've spent so much time in the mid lane. But, well, disruption. They find GPK again. He's going to go for the X into the boat. The Torrent is there, but he's just making space for himself. Another reel in. A dive in, though, from Toronto Tokyo. The silence, they've got him. Huge pickoff and great coordination there from the side of BetBoom, as it's going to turn into a second kill here onto the Shadow Demon. On the backside of the fight, GPK getting ran down. The whirlwind comes through. Pure wants to chase Toronto Tokyo. Great body blocks. And you end up getting a double kill here. I don't think Pure can finish off save. No mana for the power shot. He's going to TP back. All right.
At least you get a little bit of space for Miero, because I think the way you're going to come back on BetBoom is to start lining up the spells. You're not getting items because you're poor, but you do have some levels to work with here. If you can get to the Blink, Epi Stun, Follow-Up Boat, this is how they're getting the return kills so far. Kunkka again in trouble here.
Yeah, he's dead. There is no way he gets out of this one. He just TP'd in for this. He gets a lot of damage out onto 9 class. Whitemon will be able to save him. This time, unfortunately, no supports from BetBoom close enough to join in. And it's just been... Okay, how often do we see tri-lane mid, bro? That's what this game has been for the last, like, 5 minutes. Like, I would say last 3 minutes, it's just been 6 heroes in the mid lane.
Well, that's standard once it hits 6 minutes. Everyone comes to the mid lane for that.
Yeah.
They don't usually stay this long, but makes a lot of sense why. And this is where the downside of BetBoom's draft is that you don't have someone who can clear waves really easily. I wonder if Grimstroke should have started leveling Stroke of Fate. You usually want to max Inkswell because you're taking Instigate, you're going to go for the Shard, but it's terrible at wave clearing, which means when you end up in this tri-lane versus tri-lane, you're trying to hang on, you don't have any way to really deal with it.
Yep, absolutely. While Pure is just going to try and run down Miro. Ooh, I mean, if that stun hit, he would have been super dead. You can see the power of the whirlwind right there, threatening Miro quite a bit. Oh, the shot from downtown brings him to 40 HP. Really good stuff out of his Wind Ranger so far. Quick reminder, though, everybody, you can go ahead and register with 1xBet using the promo code UNIVERSE, UNVRS3. To get a 100% welcome bonus deposit as Stampede comes out just to refresh the Shadow Poison or the Poison Touch, and GPK is gonna burn out behind the tower. They also, I mean, they Stampede. Is he looking for Psycha here? No, okay.
They'd love to, but their heroes are not that well equipped to kill a Morphling unless he slips up. And a lot of this is going to fall to Psycha. He's the only one farming decently on his team. Usually we'd say 4,000, 5,000 net worth at 11 minutes is pretty solid for a carry, but all the other lanes are going even better than his. So they're going to have to keep letting Morphling farm up so he'll at least have the damage to get kills, and you're just going to have to set him up. Stun, boat, whatever you can do to let Morphling do the damage. However, you got to hang on for, I don't know, 10 more minutes because he's got to finish his Manta. He's got to finish another fighting item after that. It's like when you get the Conda on Morphling, you start getting really scary, and that's going to take a while.
Closing on the Blink Dagger at least for the Sand King.
If you can find
Oh, they
Thompson-
find Kunkka. Is he just going to song this? I feel like he might. Oh, he just gets the reel in anyway. There is a Phoenix behind you. Man, I really thought that was just going to be a song initiation, but maybe a little bit afraid. Think he need to save it for, maybe disengaging there.
I think you also don't have to force it right by their tier 2. You know you're winning, and you know as long as you hold the map the way you are, you have 2 tier 1s, you will continue to grow a lead whether you kill them or not. But if you throw because you're diving and maybe the blink is out, right, that's how you throw and you give them back a lot of space. So they just think that's too close to the tier 2 to risk it.
Oh, here we go. Blink initiation. They're looking for their opening. They get on top of Thompson, but an immediate Song of the Siren from 9 class to reset. Can they actually find their targets? He needs to just get out. The egg comes off in the middle of 4 heroes from Tundra. They're trying to close the gap to finish it, and they do. Miro comes with the Burrow Strike, does connect onto Thompson. Does he have the damage? He does not, but Psycho will finish him off with a waveform. Double kill for him. Here's going to be the X into the boat. They've gotten another. Pure unable to really enter this fight as BetBoom get the perfect initiation with that blink from this Sand King, and despite being down what was almost 6,000 gold at the start of this fight, they get the victory here.
Yeah, and it's all off of these spells. They just had a really good combo there. The Blink Epi was countered by the Song, but it did give them the setup to then land really nice Soulbind plus Egg, and although the Egg does end up dying, it then set up the follow-up AoE spells. The cooldowns are back up. So BetBoom doing a good job using what they do have to the best of their abilities to finally give themselves a little bit of breathing room. It's still a 4K lead for Tundra, and that fight was fortunately right before the Gleipnir finished on Wind Ranger. Otherwise, it might look pretty different. But they've bought themselves a little bit more time with that play. Great blink reveal. They're going to have to repeat that once the spells are back up.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's
All right. Ooh, they took the enemy ancients, huh? Okay, that's pretty good. He's trying to just sneak on by and get the wisdom rune on Toronto Tokyo. Actually manages to do so. Wow, they have gotten 0 wisdom runes this game on Tundra, despite having almost the whole map control. They pull back. GPK blink reveal out from Ramses, gets the stun. He is going to pop the blade mail, do what damage he can back the other way, but gets popped at the end. Here's the Inkswell Burrow Strike Epi initiation, but a really nice disruption from Whitemon. That's going to put a stop to this. And bottom lane, Stampede comes out. He's going to chase the Phoenix with this. Pure trying to find the kill. Ends up forcing the egg. Which is going to maybe try and still finish this off. We'll see. He's got the Wind Run coming through, trying to dodge it out, looking for a Shackle setup. Does just go for the Gleipnir. And Toronto Tokyo...
Doesn't have teleport. I think he'll die eventually. Unless they don't know that he doesn't have teleport. Baiting. It's like, I'm totally teleporting away. Just give up. Leave.
Nah, I think they saw. Yeah, they always stuck around. Okay, they get him.
Save for the last second. I don't think it's going to be enough. No, not at all. It's a great point you made about the Wisdom Rune, that nice graphic we had pop up. Very different from previous games where we saw Tundra securing every single one. That is allowing the supports to be pretty high level. Let's see, like level 10 on Save, level 8 on the Phoenix, whereas their counterpart supports are level 7 and 8. So that is how they won that fight earlier, the high level spells, allowing them to do the damage because it's certainly not from items. With that said, Pipe is, well, it's not quite done because Ring of Tarask is so expensive nowadays. But once that Pipe is done, that'll be so much damage removed from BetBoom.
I like the deep ward they have over here on Tundra, because they could maybe threaten for 20-minute Tormentor on that side of the map, but we'll have to see. Pure actually might be walking into a death trap here in the bottom lane. Might be getting baited by the Phoenix.
He knows the fire spirits are
absolutely getting baited by the Phoenix, as it's only a moment before that Burrow epicenter. Song of the Siren tries to come through from 9 class, but it's just way too late. The team is TPing in, though, so I am curious. He's trying to just trap the Grimstroke, maybe? No, now he's just going to try and run away. They do not want to help. Shadow Demon is definitely going to sit back by the tower. So they get themselves 2 really good kills for this. And top lane, they're bringing in more. They're actually just going to look for Thompson. His TP gets canceled. He's in a lot of trouble as Kunkka is right behind him. Here comes the X into the boat. Miro here as well. You just threw the whole lead away. It's now BetBoom's game as they have found 4 massive kills around the map.
These are such good plays from BetBoom. Toronto Tokyo has been down here the entire game on his own, dragging things out, and that's why Pure gets baited so hard, thinking it's like, oh, it's just Toronto Tokyo doing the same stuff, split pushing. He gets killed, they try to save him, it snowballs. I'm surprised Naga didn't try to TP out in that time. But then the instant TP off of that to then look for more top. BetBoom is outmaneuvering Tundra so hard, despite what was originally a gold deficit. They are now, I imagine, taking the lead once they finish this tower.
Yeah, I mean, they had a, 8,000 gold advantage at around 12.5 minutes. No, 6,000. About 6,500. Yeah, 6,500 gold advantage to around 12 minutes. And this game is now dead even, favoring BetBoom a little bit, in my opinion, because of how strong this Morphling is.
Kunkka's still pretty poor, but he is halfway to his Aghanims. The new Aghs It's not the old water park, but the double boat and the cannons are still a lot of damage. A lot of pros are favoring the Aghanim's build still.
They changed the rum icon, and it actually looks like rum instead of whatever was there before. It looked like a weird potion. That's kind of cool. Just want to take this moment to give a shout out to Fissure Studios for putting together the Universe Episode 3 event. It's been a lot of fun. So if you are not following or subscribed to them here on Twitch and YouTube, make sure to do so. Pure using the whirlwind to clean up the triangle. See that quite often, but a smoke out from BetBoom. See what they can find as they head up in here.
See Whitemon, not quite the target they want.
They will see the Naga Siren in a moment here. Yeah, they found him. That's going to be the real one. I don't even know if he knew that was real or not, but very nice.
His smoke broke, so he knew it was one of them.
That's true, yeah.
Just takes his pick.
They did do the courier thing with the Tormentor for Thompson, though, so he manages to get the Tormentor at 20 minutes.
Shard for the Naga Siren. That's a pretty good one.
And they lose
Toronto,
the Wisdom
Tokyo
Rune
again.
That is every Wisdom Rune this game going their way. Now, you might be able to punish him. He has a Crimson Guard on the Phoenix. That is so sick.
I mean, it's really good versus this Wind Ranger Whirlwind. We see Phoenixes do some crazy item builds because the hero really does not need anything besides levels to have high impact, which is why these Wisdom Rune steals are amazing. They both have level 2 ultimates already. And then you can just build whatever your team needs. Apparently a Crimson Guard as well is included in that.
I mean, the supports on BetBoom are higher level than Thompson's Dazzle. Like, that's not a good start. They actually find Thompson on the backside. He gets bursted from Saika. And just like that, forced to buy back into this game. They take down Save onto the backside. A nice dive in. The Song of the Siren comes out. They want to try and burst down the egg. In time, they do. Thompson's in. They're going to buy back on the Grimstroke. Can you find the opening? Thompson, does he just die back immediately? He gets the Shallow Grave off at the last second, and it might be enough to keep him in this fight, but no, does end up popping to Saika. And this Morphling needs to find a way out of this fight now. GPK might not be as lucky, held up here by 9 class, and Pure gonna pop the Blade Mail, try and do what he can. Save on the backside, doing so. Dude, he just healed so much with that stick, but a great disruption, canceling the TP out. Save is now dead, and GPK finally will be able to be picked up here by Tundra. It ends up being a 4 for, I think, like 3 with the dieback on your Dazzle, but pays off in the end of the day.
That's a really long fight. Song used to, 1, deal with the egg, but 2, it bought enough time for Dazzle to buy back and teleport in, because this is not their side of the map, so he gets to teleport and then Twin Gate. So it took a long time, but Song gave him enough time to get there. They almost killed him, cleared the silence just in time for the grave, and I think if they finish the Dazzle, then BetBoom wraps up the rest of that fight. But Dazzle lived long enough to then get another series of spells off, which helps heal up his team, soften up BetBoom. Does fall again, but I think it ended up being a pretty worthwhile buyback, especially if they could have finished the Aegis, but without Whirlwind, I think their damage is just too slow. Even with Whirlwind, actually, it's not that great compared to Focus Fire. I think they tried it. They're like, maybe, guys? They saw how slow it was going. Right, with Thompson, it's doable.
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised they didn't go for it, but they definitely want to put the Aegis on Thompson. Like, he's
that could be another reason they waited, yeah.
He diebacked, you know, you kind of need your Dazzle in these fights. And with how they've been targeting, it really does seem like they are trying to focus down the Dazzle. And it makes sense, right? Like, he is such a huge part of the team fight. And with this, first Roche goes the way of Tundra right before it moves to the Dire side. And I know I said it's definitely going to Thompson, but it goes to Pure, so never mind. Dude, Psycho went dataless. He has dataless, now he's got an MKB queued up.
BKB's finished. This Morphling's very scary.
This is why Whirlwind is crazy, dude. It's so fast and farming.
Yeah, we're reaching the point where the early kills with Whirlwind can be a little awkward compared to Focus Fire, but once you pick up enough damage, it becomes really good in team fights.
Yeah.
And we're at that point where he now has enough items, especially as he finishes this Nullifier, that Whirlwind is a threat to pretty much everyone in that fight, anyone who's nearby. Although the Crimson Guard helps a lot. Crimson Guard helps a lot with that. Maybe if you can apply some mischance to her as well, because Wind Rangers no longer really build MKBs. So if her BKB's down, you hit her with a Sunray. That could help reduce the damage too.
I feel like the longer this goes on, the better it's going to be for Tundra, because at some point your Dazzle gets strong enough to not get bursted, and Wind Ranger's Whirlwind is probably the highest single damage spell in the game in terms of like its late game potential. Oh, Gleipnir in the mid lane. They do find GPK hesitant to go for the dive. 9 class
He's
and
tanky.
immediately. Yeah, he really is. You're gonna look for the blink initiation. They'd get it, but a great disruption from Whitemon. They saw this coming, and a huge stomp on top of him to follow. Psycho needs to get out of here, but Whirlwind just goes right through these heroes. They're trying to run away from Pure. They're doing their best, but Shackle is out. They've got the Grimstroke. He's dead. Now looking for Toronto, Tokyo, the Song of the Siren. Do they find anyone on the high ground? Oh boy, do
Find
they.
everyone.
That is a huge win as the rum buff expires. Ultra kill for Pure. The man deserves it. Give him the Rampage. No, 9 class takes it instead.
You gotta earn the Rampage, Pure.
It's just
You can't
giggling
outlast
there.
hit me, the support. You don't deserve it.
All right. I mean, this was the perfect fight. The ward placed there from 9 class was so sick because they see the Inkswell come out onto the Sand King. They're like, oh, the play is coming. Like, they're going to go right now, and it's immediately countered. So well done.
Yeah, the disruption save was instant, so ready for it. And great recognition to not jump that Kunkka. That's exactly what they were worried about. If you jump the Kunkka, and then that Epi counter comes out, your Shadow Demon is not in position. So they don't initiate there, they back off. They know the rum buff would have saved him anyways. Great double stun as well.
Yeah.
Morphling had to spend most of that fight just running away because he lost half his health before he could BKB.
Yeah, he like waveformed in, popped the morph, and got immediately hoof stomped from Ramses. And like you said, lost a huge chunk of his HP as the BKB comes out after. Let's see what Wind Ranger gets on the jungle item. The tier 3s, there's some pretty good ones for this hero.
Tough choice. He's still holding on.
I mean, I think ideally you want Enchanted Quiver because it's based on your attack range, right? For Focus Fire. Okay, doesn't find it. Ends up getting Paladin Sword. That's one of the other really good ones.
I mean, he might have had both. He took a while deciding.
Aghanim Scepter now for the Wind Ranger. It's going to be very difficult to find this as they are smoked up. They actually just barely missed GPK here. Do they know? Smoke pops. GPK trying to get the safety. The Stampede comes through, but they get him on the reel in. And with that, Demonic Purge is out. Ramses with a blink stun. I don't think you're making it out of this one. GPK going down on the Kunkka. Very good find on that smoke rotation.
He's been having a rough game. BetBoom did a great job in the the early game to mid game, making some plays to get themselves
Psycha.
back into this. But off that Roche fight,
He beat KB TPs. There it is. The classic Nightfall.
he's renamed himself to avoid that.
It's the Psycha now.
It's the new identity. He's close to his MKB, but maybe not close enough for this tier 3 push that's coming up here. Can you find another amazing fight on BetBoom?
I mean, this nullifier on Wind Ranger is going to cause so many problems.
It's really difficult to use Inkswell as a save now because of that.
Yeah.
Your target has to be BKB'd.
It also just goes right through Crimson Guard, I think, is the other thing, right? Like, Pure realized that Crimson Guard is going to reduce a lot of the effective damage from his Whirlwind, and there's typically one target he wants to kill. Everyone else is just like, you know, bonus damage. And now he can just nullify the one target he wants, instantly remove the Crimson Guard, and hope that it's enough to help kill them.
You have Shadow Demon ult as well for a second target, so...
Oh, yeah. Good point, good point. Guardian Greaves. I think I just saw an Orchid queued up on the Naga Siren.
That is correct.
Okay, I was.
I mean, it's very good versus the supports,
Mhm.
right? The Grimstroke and the Phoenix. If you can silence them, remove their spells from the fight, or use it on a core, force out a BKB from maybe the Morphling. Kunkka and Sand King don't even have a Dispel, so you could still be silencing them out of a fight.
Cool, that's cool. I like it.
Maybe he's thinking it's time to scale up, thinking about his own Bloodthorn.
Radiant's bottom tower.
His own damage will benefit a lot, but also the Whirlwind will help him out a little bit, right?
All right, final outer tower gone here as Tundra.
You're just gonna wait for the next Roche. Orchid is on the way. We have some nice items for this next Roche fight. The smoke broke on the Naga illusion. They know BetBoom's in the area. It's an interesting dynamic. The illusion smokes will break, but your smoke won't break because of the illusion.
Oh,
It's not a
he
real
just walks
hero.
in. He just walks in on the real Naga Siren, breaks it. They actually have a high ground ward. Orchid is out from 9 class, but they're looking for an opening. Pure on the backside. Will he find it? He goes in. Gleipnir onto 2. The supports are there. The stomp comes through. They get Toronto 2. No, he gets the egg off in time. And Psycha actually just trying to lay into him. The Song of the Siren is out, but the Kunkka actually surviving because of this. The reset, though, from the Song. They're all topped off. Top since BKB expires. Silence now onto the Morphling. They're going to buy back on GPK. Toronto, Tokyo on the run. Save as well. Trying to get out, but you can't escape on the Morph. The supports will leave him to die. A very weird fight, but it still pays off for Tundra.
It starts with Whirlwind hitting 4 different heroes. So much damage is coming out. The egg does pop, but it's under Song, so there's no follow-up. This Naga is a response to Phoenix. Or I guess Phoenix was picked after, but the interactions here seem to be benefiting Naga more than anything.
Yeah, agreed.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Now they don't even need Roche. They're just going to go for this high ground. They know there's no Morphling. Or they'll get his buyback, which is equally good.
Radiant's bottom tower.
That's such good use of the illusions from Naga. I love that.
Yeah.
Gave them all the information they need, and it didn't give... I guess BetBoom knows that Tundra's also smoked, but you have no idea where. You have a rough idea of where the illusion came from, but that's it.
Yeah. And with this, the Roche respawns. They can actually just start to push top side of the lane here and it's exactly what Pure is doing. Comes up here, pops the whirlwind, just goes right through the creep waves. And now they can look for Roshan on Dire side in just a few seconds. She needs to be a little bit careful. He is going kind of far forward. But without the Morphling there, I don't think he's under too much threat.
That's true. You really need the Morphling and his MKB to finish up this Wind Ranger. I think he's tanky enough that your spell combo is not finishing up the kill before he could BKB and run. All right, this might be the last fight for BetBoom. Tournament lives on the line here. Again, these illusions, just scouting things out, finds the enemy team. They're not smoked up, they're just hiding here. The illusions find them. This is some of the value of the Naga support, right? You don't have to just keep sending it to creep camps like the cores would do. You're like, yeah, just send it wherever I think the enemies are. And if I find something, great. If I don't find anything, all that's information too.
They almost got baited by the Morphling illusion, but they will find the real one there.
This
They're coming from dude, this is such a good wraparound. If they find Psyka in the trees, this game could be over. Ramsey is looking for the blink initiation. Who do they find? It is going to be the Morph! Can they burst him in time? Nullifier is out. He gets the BKB. Whirlwind coming through, but a nice boat's managed to get on top of him. Pure's going to be forced to pop the BKB, but Psyka, you're dying! The Song of the Siren again coming out at a little bit of a weird moment, but the follow-up... It's gonna stomp, connect onto them. No, he gets silenced. GPK's on top of him, but they don't have the damage to kill anybody on Tundra. The constant heals and reset are too much, and the GG comes out. BetBoom knocked out of the tournament by Tundra.
That's the song Shard. Like, that's the difference maker.
Yeah.
Once the egg comes out, you actually don't care if you get stunned because you're healing up your whole team. So you're going to be stunned. You're going to pop out of it. You're all full health. You can take the fight again at that point, which is exactly what happened there. Jumped onto Morphling, and he, again, just had to spend a lot of it running, which was such a sick wraparound from Tundra. Again, sending those illusions in. They did it the first time, so then they did it a second time. It's like, oh, we're just still scouting with illusions. BetBoom clears them out, and that gives them the information to make that wide play, and fortunately runs into the perfect hero on that Morphling.
Yeah, it's such a good way to start the fight because he really has to be the one to get on top of Pure and kill him. And in these engagements, that doesn't happen. The boat came through. Psyka, yeah, like BKBs immediately, but is forced away for him defensively and pop the Manta early. It really does seem like the Naga Siren for Tundra is just way too strong. Like, we've seen them over and over with this hero get so much done on it. And this is another really good case to be made for it. Like, the fact that they're holding the Song of the Siren for the egg every single time, like you mentioned, is a really strong way to play it. It did seem like it kind of griefed some of their fights for a moment, but then you just watch the health bars completely reset for the whole team between the Dazzle and the Naga Siren heals. It's like, oh, okay, it's a full reset for us, and your team is exactly where you were, 5 seconds ago.
Mm-hmm. But it's cool because it's not just the egg, which we saw it counter a lot of times, but also Epi and the rum buff.
The rum buff.
Yeah. So even if the boat damage is being healed, ignoring that, you're actually just wasting time on the rum buff, and it expires by the time the song is over. And you want to fight in that time when you have all your spells going, and now you have to focus the Naga, and that just does not feel good. You're being killed by Whirlwind. You're being, all the spells from Dazzle are going out. There's just too many people you need to focus. And you finally focus someone, and then there's a disruption save. There's a grave save. There's a song save. This game was really difficult once they fell behind, and that Dazzle pick kind of got them. Their playmaker and the Kunkka, again, taken out of the game pretty much the entire time.
Yeah, super cool game from them. Really good performance. MVP goes to Pure on the Wind Ranger. 9-1-10, top net worth, top damage. It makes sense. Like, this was a really slick performance from them overall. Very excited to see how they do, as they're going to be advancing in the lower bracket. But coming up next is the upper bracket finals, an absolute blast of a series. It's going to be Team Falcons taking on Team Spirit, everyone. So stay tuned. We're going to go to a short break, and we'll be back with our final series of the evening. We'll see you then.
everyone should know about the esports in your pocket.
Welcome back, everybody. It is the final series of the evening, and it has been a very long day for some of these teams, but we have got the upper bracket finals between Team Falcons and Team Spirit. One of these teams will be going directly to the grand finals to fight for that grand prize. The other will be playing against Tundra in the lower bracket tomorrow morning. Zach, any idea what we can expect from this one?
Great Dota. Beyond
That's
that,
fair.
not so sure. Not so sure. They did play each other earlier in the group stage, which is pretty cool. It's fun to see teams play each other again so quickly because you get to see like what adaptations are going to happen, and we might see it a third time, right? If one of the teams who loses here then beats Tundra, then you're going to see a third series against teams, which almost never happens in tournaments. And that's where we'll get to see the cool parts of Dota, the draft adapting between series.
And I think you and me, we actually haven't had a chance to watch either of these two teams go head to head because they've been in the other group. So this is fun. I'm excited to see how they do. If you are somehow unfamiliar with the Falcons roster, it is Skitter, Malrine, ATF, Crit, and Snaking. Of course, these guys have looked incredibly strong. Their opponents will be Team Spirit, the one and only Radan, Laurel, Collapse, Mira, and Maposhka. So excited to see how these two teams are going to approach this draft and which heroes might actually make it through. I mean, I don't think the viewers can see this, so maybe a little bit of a taunting them, but the Falcons banner in game looks awesome.
They'll get to see it once the game loads. It's a cool one.
Yeah. Oh, all right. So this draft, we'll be looking at the picks bands here in just a moment, but I think it's going to be a lot of the same kind of opening 7 heroes that we've been seeing for the most part. It looks like the coin toss ended up being second pick and a Radiant for Team Spirit. So interesting. That's kind of like the opposite from what we've been seeing a lot. Either it's been first pick or the teams are preferring Dire. So at least that's been the case with Group A. Group B may be a little bit different. See an early Timbersaw and Morph ban. Interesting.
Yeah, this is what happened in their first series. Falcons was second pick every single game, actually. So it seems both teams are okay with this. And these bans, we talk about those heroes that are really good, but for Falcons, they have some unique picks that you have to respect. And Doom and Timber, right, are some of those heroes. Amar and Malrine just having such a specialized pool that a lot of people thought, oh, it's going to be patched out. It's not good, right? Then they'll move on. But man, even when their heroes are not technically the best, they just play them so insanely well that you do not want to give them certain heroes. And that means we're going to see some other broken stuff slip through. For example, the Nature's Prophet, the Lina are still in here. We see Sand King being contested by a lot of teams. It was pretty big in the last time, the last series these teams played. And Dragonite as well, I think, showed up on Team Spirit in most of their games. So wondering if they're going to go for the Dragonite first pick here because they did it every single time last time and they won. So, oh, this time they're going to ban it and actually take the Sand King.
I mean, this Sand King hero has been a big win for a lot of teams. Like, it seems to be incredibly strong. It just, even as the opener, very rarely actually countered. But as we saw last game, the Wind Ranger looked quite good. It's something Falcons do like to run. It's a Skitter classic. So I think we could see a Wind Ranger early on in this draft. You could even go for something like the Shadow Demon as well. A great save to counter the Sand King initiation. We'll see.
I would love to see the Lina because... Okay, they're going to go for the Natures. I thought maybe Lina because you can run it mid versus that Sand King with your super cool Arcana, which you guys could win if you join in the giveaway. Type !1x give to join in, get a cool skin. Natures doesn't have as cool of a skin, but I guess he fits a similar idea, which is if this Sand King is mid, I will do okay there. We've seen this matchup a couple times. But if it's actually an off-lane Sand King, you could move your Natures down there and also lane that. For Natures as a support, for Lina, I was thinking you could do carry Lina. But I mean, this is fine. Nature's does something very similar. Also a very strong hero. And maybe we'll still see the Lina. She could be
think we
banned
will.
out here. I'd be a little surprised if she wasn't.
Oh, by say I will see the Lina, I mean it's probably going to get banned.
Could be.
I don't think a team's going to let it through, to be honest. Falcons have pick opening in phase 2. If you let the Lina go through on Spirit, it does kind of create an interesting draft of Nature's Prophet Lina, which doesn't sound super good. But if you pick some like tanky like supports and maybe another initiator, it might be okay. Things like Clockwork or I guess Dragon Knight is banned, but you know, anything along those lines.
Well, the last time these teams played, they ignored the Lina. Lina did make it through in one of the games that Falcons took, and they lost with it. So Spirit is potentially here just not gonna care about the Lina. They just don't think it's as strong, perhaps, in the hands of Falcons. We'll see if they're right about that. They're not gonna ban it. So if Falcons wants it on this next pick, they could go for it. They might wait and see. You don't have to reveal it here, but I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy when every other team is respect banning Lina just in that first phase, and then you'll have teams that just let it through. But that is the cool part about Dota. Every team's got their own take, their own answers to what's good.
What about like a Broodmother pick potentially for Team Spirit? They get rid of the Primal Beast, but I feel like it's decent. You could also look at something like a Bat Rider, since you see, I guess now that you also see the Enchantress, like Bat Rider into Nature's Prophet as well is pretty good.
I like the Enchantress pick. You're going to protect the Bat Rider, or sorry, the Nature's Prophet, because if you lose your Treant, your laning stage sucks. And Enchantress is one of the heroes who can do that. It's also a Miposhka classic, so
yeah,
you're just going to steal it away. This could be the support duo. You could end up running Nature's Prophet position 4 and just have a very aggressive support duo. Enchantress will be able to roam early, and Nature's will do whatever he wants. He could farm, he could fight, teleport to the fight. You get that global pressure. Core Nature's is a bit more popular right now, though, which the Enchantress will still work well with. For example, the Treant dies so easily to towers, but now you could have an Enchantress creep come in, tank for you, already do a bunch of damage. Maybe you have a Troll creep tanking, giving you extra damage for the Treant to then kill the tower. So we can see a very fast game here. Shadow Demon has been really good. I don't know if we need to talk even more on that. He's just consistently performed well. But the Mirana is cool because the arrow will help you deal with the Enchantress creeps, the Nature's Prophet Treant, and it could be a support that just goes around with Shadow Demon, disrupt arrow combo with whatever core heroes in that area, or it could be a core Mirana who will play more to right clicks. Maybe you're not pairing as much with the Shadow Demon, but that combo will still be there as the game goes on, and it could happen in the laning stage if these two run together.
Yeah. I would like that. I would like that. I am curious where Falcons want to go with this next, because there is still a lot of options, but you're really lacking something to start your fight. And we have seen things like Underlord be quite popular with Nature's Prophet because you do have such strong global rotation presence. You can be pretty much in any lane, and it does give you a tanky body to put in front of you. You don't really want to, I don't think you'd want to run a Rubik on Team Spirit with this draft. Maybe you could, but you might be able to get away running some sort of like Underlord, or even just the Clockwork, I think might be good enough. Tusk is also an option if they want to run Tusk for crit, which is like one of his, best heroes. Gives him at least a heavy body to put in front and something to kind of synergize with these ranged heroes.
I think you're right that something to start stuff. Teleportation takes a while to channel, and if they can see it coming, they can set up for it. It's just not going to be as effective. So something to start fights. If it's a support Nature's, then that's maybe not as big of a deal, but you still typically want some kind of initiation. So there you go. Mars will be good. Tusk will be good.
And the Tusk. Yeah, cool. I like the Tusk a lot. It makes sense with the heroes that they already picked. It's very good for crit. It gives you a little bit of a save from the Mirana arrow combinations. So I think this is super solid.
10 seconds remaining.
So now you're going to have to reveal something about where this Sand King and Mirana are going. Unless you have another flex pick to grab here. I mean, you could take Lena if you wanted to, right?
It's a little bit scary into the Mars.
I guess so.
Okay, Radahn's Terrorblade.
Okay. They have liked Terrorblade more than any other team, I feel like. A lot of other teams just don't believe in Terrorblade much lately, but Radahn has never stopped asking for it.
I'm trying to think of the synergy for this one, because I'm guessing you are running like a Shadow Demon 5, Mirana 4 now with this. So Shadow Demon, Terrorblade, it doesn't sound like the strongest lane.
You have Disruption save to get through the lane, more illusions later. I agree I don't see the exact synergy, but I've been saying that for a while, and then the Terrorblade still comes out. So the teams just believe in what the Terrorblade can do. They like the hero, and I feel like I'm always trying to learn it, but lately I just never see when it's a Terrorblade game when it comes out.
So they're anticipating a mid or a safe lane Nature's Prophet at this point, right? They're gonna ban out some heroes I guess they're most worried about, but the fact that Nature's is either going to be mid or off lane, or I'm sorry, mid or safe lane, makes it a little bit difficult for Spirit to try and come up with the bans. I would like a heavy magic mid lane, which I guess is why we see the puck band here. The Pango would have been a good one just for teamfight disruption, even though it's physical damage. But I want something that plays inside the Mars arena, or can set up for the Mars arena.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds.
And I know I said match damage. You actually could look for a Monkey King depending on what they pick on Team Spirit. Let's get a Kunkka. Okay, so they're definitely not going for a Monkey King.
Or they
The
think
Kunkka ban is good.
It could have been banned out. The Monkey King could have been banned. So Falcons does have last pick, which I think is good for this team because they actually have so many cheese picks from their players with their specialized picks that I think it makes sense why this team values second pick. Now, what that cheese is going to be, I'm not sure. I think it depends a little bit on what Spirit goes for last here.
I mean, you also have to remember Malrine could just take Lena mid. Like, this is one of those things that, like, he is a very good Lena player, and you could go for, like, the Gleipnir, Aghanim Scepter, Caster Lena, where you're just deleting heroes from Fog, right? So
it would probably be pretty good versus Terrorblade, all that combustion damage as well.
That's what I'm thinking, yeah, is it could be really good, and if you have a mid laner that would suffer to a Lena mid, I think you got to be very careful. A Weaver ban. I mean, I guess Skitter does like his Weaver, but now I'm really curious what their offlaner is going to be here. I don't think it's Sand King if you're banning the Weaver.
10 seconds remaining.
Are you going Beastmaster?
5 seconds.
It's got to be something consistent because you can be counterpicked in this last one here.
I mean, you don't want to play Beastmaster into the Ench lane. I actually don't know. I'm confused. Okay, they go back for Invoker. Cool. So you have options of Viper and Lena. You could do
10 seconds remaining.
something more passive and play like a Keeper of the Light, and then you have like your own way of just like playing a tempo hero that can run at the Terrorblade. Okay. Mars, I don't know where the Slark is going. It is Skitter Slark. They're just gonna put the Nature's Prophet mid then. Okay.
I was gonna say whatever it is
confused.
should want to fight because you want Nature's to be able to show up to everything. So if you were looking for a mid laner, I think you want to lean into that aggression. Slark, I guess, kind of counts because you can pounce people and you use your ultimate and your shard to just ignore the Terrorblade for a bit and try to kill the Terrorblade in that time.
Yeah.
Should
The
be okay
Depth Shroud
versus Sand
for...
King.
Yeah, I would say the counterplay on Depth Shroud versus Terrorblade is really good. If you get him low enough to where you expecting the Sunder, you just Depth Shroud any target near him, and you're just... It's so frustrating to play around. He has to, at that point, Sunder and Illusion, and he actually goes Soul Fragment here. I think for that very reason. We'll see if he ends up keeping it, but It's kind of a big deal.
The people believe in spirit. Look at that. That is so
Never mind.
one-sided.
He swapped to condemned. All right.
Just didn't have the right one yet.
Amar can't decide which one he wants. He's been going back and forth. So Malreen's Nature's Prophet. We've seen this hero do pretty well in the mid lane. It is versus an Invoker who is... I mean, Nature's Prophet is the highest scaling stat hero in all of Dota. Invoker is the highest damage scaling hero in all of Dota. So I feel like for the most part, it should be pretty even in terms of who can get the last hits. But the Ironwood Treant adds a little bit of a asterisk into there because it is so difficult to deal with.
Yeah, and then you just globally rotate around, which I think is the cool thing about Invoker is that you have the Sun Strikes to also contribute, which will combo really well with the Disruption or Arrow. So maybe that's some of what they were going for.
Sorry, it was a new versus screen I hadn't seen before. That was kind of cool.
Someone already leveled up their compendium.
Nothing like spending $80 on a loading screen. Okay, here we go. Game number 1 of this upper bracket finals. I am a little bit curious to see how these lanes are going to play out, but for the most part, I really like Falcon's draft. The Nature's Prophet has looked exceptionally good this tournament, and Slark is always a really fun hero to watch, and I think for the most part, it's a pretty good Slark game. So we'll see what Falcons are able to do, or if Spirit can manage to pull these lanes ahead in their advantage as we get ready to jump into this one. Do you have any prediction yourself?
I don't know. We've seen so many natures just pop off that I want to lean towards that. I mean, we got classic like Amar Mars, Crit Tusk. I feel like they're on such comfort heroes.
He actually went Drinking Buddies on the Tusk as well, which we haven't seen too often, but it is better for the save, right? And I think he is being in this like double melee off lane. They're not going to get a lot of value out of tag teams, so going for Drinking Buddies later for the save might just be better.
The battle begins.
Nothing crazy at the runes. Actually, there was something cool when before the game had loaded in. Slark bought boots, ran forward, and then had his courier send his boots to the side shop, I think, to sell them in time.
Yeah.
Just so he could get to the mid lane a little faster to check for wards, which was nifty.
You always see that happen every once in a while, right? Ooh, interesting. Win probability actually favoring Spirit. Just Ironwood Treant just sitting on the high ground, T-posing on the Invoker.
And the nice thing about the Ironwood Treant when there's a Mirana in the game is that you can use it to tank ganks for you, even as you get stunned by a cold snap or something.
Yeah.
You can have it eat the arrow.
I'm a little bit curious to see how this Slark is going to actually do in lane, because I feel like it's not going to be an amazing lane for the Slark. The game goes well for him, but Mirana Sand King is fairly strong, and Enchantress, I think, going to be a little bit weak in the first couple of levels into this, because obviously the Mirana can just arrow the creeps if you try to bring something over, and yeah, we'll see. Well, I'm curious how that one's going to go.
Yeah, Mirana does have a potential gank in every lane between Tornado, Cold Snap, Burrow Strike, and Disruption. I do think that tends to set up the Mirana for success. See if they can connect on any ganks later on. In mid. Getting some early denies on the Invoker.
Yeah. Ooh, first blood top onto Snaking. Okay. And Slark's going to lose the courier. Not a great start in this top lane.
Looks like that was just a Burrow Strike into a lot of Caustic Finale damage.
bottom lane. Ooh, shards off the mark there from Crit. For the most part, I think lane's going quite well here for the side of Falcons. The fact that Mirana has as much CS as she does is kind of surprising. It looks like she's kind of just farming a little bit on the top side.
I think she's just using arrows to kill creeps.
Nice block on the stack there. Yeah, he's playing. Mira's doing really good on this Mirana in lane.
Yeah, with that in mind, though, Slark is last hitting pretty well.
Yeah.
They will have some tools against the Slark, the various AoE abilities that don't care about his ultimate. I feel like he could be set up for success, especially with the Nature's Prophet being able to globally rotate. Nature's so far doing quite well. Has a lot of denies. 11 already.
That's a good amount of damage into the Mirana from the top lane. Really nice pounce setup. That was also a tornado from Snaking, which is kind of funny. Bottom lane. Big brawl coming out here. Amar with a few too many Shadow Poison stacks, but Miposhka gets crit, pops him on the 5th stack. Very nice. And that's the damage amp, too, that is also a little underrated. I think he had like 4 stacks of amp on him, so 8% extra damage plus the 10 stacks top lane. They're trying to get Mira. Nice usage. Oh, the stomp, though, coming out. Skitter is going to go down. A huge cleanup here from these creeps. Mira. All right. A lot of fighting now all of a sudden is bottom lane. They managed to take down the MOUZ. Great disruption here. Crit's going to have to blood grenade this, and will. Does manage to finish the job. As Rodon pops the meta, going to do quite a bit of damage. Back to Sunstrikes on the money. They got him. Laurel, 2 quick Sunstrikes back to back, offering assistance to side lanes. That's big for him.
Nature just wants to get involved now, too. Going to rotate top.
Great Sprout.
Sprout for the Mirana kill. I think Collapse should be okay.
Yeah.
No Sprout. Oh, actually, maybe going for a... Okay, if they actually knew he was juking around, they might have been able to do that. But instead, they'll just go back to lanes.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
All right. That's those are some really good finds from Spirit around the map. This top lane was already going quite well for Falcons, but some signs of life there. And Invoker getting, some nice influx of gold for him considering the mid lane. He's been struggling. Right? A lot of denies on the Nature's Prophet. Bottom lane. Disruptions out. They're going to look for Amar. Great snowball on in. They turn around with the Drinking Buddies looking for the Terrorblade. A huge Wrath of Nature coming through. But Amar needs to be careful. He's got a lot of poison stacked up on him. That's a 4th. We'll see. Well, TP in from Snaking. Wants to wrap around with the Enchantress. Do they dive? Radon, they will go ahead, hit him with the Blood Grenade and the Enchant. Crit is here. Snowball should be enough to help finish the job. Set up with a Sunstrike, but...
Disruption?
Great disruption again. Blood Grenade out another time with the help of the Ice Shards to finish the job. Dude, the Sunstrikes from Invoker have been so good. And Snaking... Oh, Miposhka he didn't have the mana for the 5th stack, but he still gets him.
Oh, the 21 damage creep.
Also, the Blood Grenade amped from Miposhka's passive.
That's funny. I forgot about the Blood Grenade amp. Okay, the nice thing about Terrorblade in this lane is that his armor is saving him from so much damage.
Oh, yeah.
Snowball straight in on the bottom lane. They want to clean up Miposhka.
Ooh!
Ooh, God's Rebuke actually pushed them over. Oh, never mind. Malrina's here.
Okay. Yeah, a little bit awkward. Definitely want to... It's one of those things where it's like you want to spear first. Or if you're going to go... Like, yeah, you typically spear first into the God's Rebuke so it stuns but keeps them in place. But accidentally bonks him to those sides. Seems like they have the heroes there. Skitter, a very nice steal on this Wisdom Rune. Taking it away from Mira, getting himself his level 6. He might have to ult. Oh my goodness, what an arrow Sunstrike. He's going to turn, try to do what damage he can to the Mirana up onto the high ground. Should be forced to
That would've been
TP
such a
away
sick
now.
combo.
Yeah, if he didn't ult, he might have died there, actually.
We don't usually see Quas Exort Invoker,
Yeah.
but I think this game it makes a lot of sense. There's so much setup for. I was talking about arrow setup, but there's also Sunstrike setup.
Yeah.
And we're seeing him put it to great use. His farming speed. I mean, this is classic Invoker from 5-10 years ago, where he'll get the 2 Forge Spirits soon. He'll be farming up. I don't know if he'll get a Midas like right away, like old Invokers used to. But I think it's going to be so far helping them to match this Nature's, who usually is the one leading the way with these. Oh, Sunstrike misclick.
Yeah, I think he accidentally might have clicked the mini-map or something. I'm not quite sure. Crit trying to chase down Mira here, but the burrow strike in from Collapse. Snowball coming through. Off the mark with the Sprout as well, man. A lot of spells just Whoa, that was
longest drinking buddies in the world.
Yeah. That was like 800 range. What was that?
I think he used it on a creep.
Yeah, he
But
did.
the creep didn't move.
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
Oh,
That was
he
weird.
alt cast. I forgot you can do that. He alt cast it so that it only pulls Tusk toward the ally. They added that in
Is the
either
cast range really that
7.37 or
far?
7.37b.
Oh, it is 900
Yeah.
cast range. Okay.
And it usually pulls people together, but so it doesn't look as long. But
I
when
didn't
it's only
realize
going
it was-
one way.
Yeah, for me, I just did not realize it was that long of a cast range. So, cool. Laurel with the double Wraith Band this game. I actually really like that. A lot of physical damage coming out from this team. Overall, Spirit doing really well, and Collapse is enormous. I just looked at his net worth. 5,400 net worth almost. As we get to 9.5 minutes into this game, he is crushing it. Snaking
There's
here.
a massive stack of Ancients he's working on as well.
Oh, he's gonna just TP on out after yoinking a courier. Nicely done there from Mira.
Collapse is going to have over 6,000 net worth by 10 minutes.
He's gaming. Yeah, you can see his net worth just explode when the big creeps die. Gains like 400 net worth immediately.
I mean, this is the strength of Dust Devil. Your farming speed is just so good.
Yeah.
He's just going between the lane and the camps, doing his stacks. He has 4 assists as well. Doing another stack now.
That double kill in the top lane definitely helped them because they were struggling a little bit. But when that Sunstrike came out and they not only find the Slark, but then the follow-up kill, it completely turned his lane. As we hit the 10-minute mark, quick reminder, everyone, to take advantage of that first deposit bonus. You can use promo code Universe UNVRS3 to take advantage of that. Amar bottom lane. Arena used defensively to try and get away, and it might be enough. The spear to send the Shadow Demon back. Radon trying to close the gap. Crit. Does he have Ice Shards?
In 5 seconds.
Ooh, Reflection. Drinking buddies for the moves.
Quick drinking buddies.
Ooh, Slark dying top to oh my goodness. Laurel on the money again. The smile on this guy's face. As Crit now in trouble. That is a disruption into Arrow. The follow-up Starstorm. He's going to snowball for the moment. But he's got 3 stacks now. 4. It's only a matter of time before we push. Ooh, nice sidestep. And in comes Malrine, actually. Drinking Buddy's back the other way. Sprout is there. Hold up. That is a lot of damage. Nice TP in and good bait from Crit.
These Sunstrikes are crazy.
Yeah.
He was also pretty lucky there because Mars turned around to Spear, which actually stopped him long enough for that Sunstrike to connect. Otherwise, I think he would have stayed in pace with Tusk and then at least split the damage, but ended up just being Mars in there. They might find Mira. Actually, Collapse is TPing in. This is his blink reveal.
Oh, that's very nice if they can turn this into more, but doesn't manage to finish off Crit. There's the Walrus Punch. And Skitter is doing a lot of work. They get the kill with the Shadow Dance. And now looking for Mira, the spear off the mark. But yeah, your blink reveal, trading your own life for the Tusk, not really worth it. If Skitter can get out of this, it'd be huge. Sunstrike's on the money. The arrow not going to connect. He's just trying to get that Barracuda regen to start kicking in, and it looks like it's going to work. Demonic Purge out onto Snake King. Sunstrike, or not Sunstrike, the Meatball comes out as well. He's trying his best to heal through this. Actually TP'd out on the Nature's Prophet, but he might be willing to turn as there comes the Arena. The Spear is there. They might want to try and get rid of him, but he's got the Sunder. They hold him right back in. The huge Wrath of Nature as well. Double kill for Maureen, looking for Laurel now, but they don't have detection. Oh, they do now. Sentry is there. Great rotation back in from Crit. The Ice Shards perfectly placed, and oh my goodness, Falcons getting a ton off of the Nature's Prophet this early.
This is part of the reason he can be a core again, is that teleportation got moved back down to a 20-second CD. So he TP'd out of that fight, but he was able to rejoin due to that low cooldown and help finish off that kill on the Terrorblade, surprising him with all that damage coming in at once from the Wrath of Nature, God's Rebuke, Sprout.
Big Blink Epicenter, the snowball to save him. Snake King just trying to walk away, but Maureen stuck inside the Sandstorm. Crit as well. Gonna take down. Huge find from Collapse. Another Sunstrike.
Another one. Has every Sunstrike connected?
I don't think I've seen one miss.
They didn't all kill, but I think they all hit.
Yeah, I agree. I think every single one is at least connected.
You got the double Forge Spirits here too. Easy pushing.
Dude, Collapse is so farmed, dude.
Dire are scanning. Radiant
Dude, a lot of these heroes have way more net worth than you typically see in a game at this point, right? Even Nature's Prophet is overfarmed, but the fact that Collapse is is like 1,300 gold in front of him as well is absolutely wild.
This is pretty crazy net worth from Collapse. I guess some of this is also just the global rotations that are available this game. It's a really high kill game, 16 to 11 at 14 minutes. And in between those fights, both teams are still farming really efficiently. So we have some very inflated net worths.
Okay, there's no shot Amar finishes this next item, but we'll see. He gets his Blink Dagger and has a Dagon queued up.
Dude, I believe it. I believe it.
I do not. I don't really believe in Dagon Mars. We'll see. I would love to be surprised. It's definitely going to surprise Spirit if he does pick it up, but...
Let me tell you what it is. Okay, first, you can kill the illusions instantly. But second, when you surprise Terrorblade, you're going to have Wrath of Nature and a Dagon. There's no way he expects that. Boom. Insta-killed before he can Sunder.
I mean, it will definitely surprise them. Quick D-ward there. Really well played from Mira to be ready for that one.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Nature's Prophet almost at his Aghanim Shard. That'll be a lot of early team fighting damage.
Yeah, it's very good. Is this a Crimson Guard done on Collapse? Well, Blink, Burrow Strike, Epicenter, Sandstorm with the help of the Sunstrike. Is it enough? It actually is. Oh my goodness. Collapse is just running through these heroes. Gets himself a nice Yule's pickup as well. Top side of the map, we're going to see a fight break out, but a good disruption comes through, and Skitter is going to be forced to just ult TP. He's got nothing left. Great Demonic Purge out there from the Shadow Demon. And Collapse will find Crit. A Yule set up into the Burrow Strike. Mira close enough as he's just running in front of him. Great predictions to keep that Dust Devil going.
This is so funny to see a Sand King with this many items, and then he still got safety bubble because we're not even at the tier 2 neutrals yet. Yet he is so farmed. He has a Blink Yule's Vanguard. It looks like he forgot to change his neutral. And now they're gonna get such an early tier 2 off of this. How long is left on meta? Oh, none at all. I was gonna say like maybe they go do Roche, but since it's expired, it actually might be possible if you bring Invoker up.
You've got Demon Zeal. You could do it.
If you could see where Falcons was, you might do it, but it may not feel confident to go for such an early Roche.
Yeah, it's almost not worth it. Like, you can just keep splitting the map, and if your Mirana, Shadow Demon are together, you basically can find a kill with them onto anybody, right? You just play behind your Sand King.
Dire's middle tower is under
Between,
attack.
like,
Collapse is going for a Crimson Guard next, which is going to reduce so much damage. I'm not sure how you lose a straight-up team fight once that is finished. But at least Slark is the type of hero who doesn't care if he's doing low damage because he's stealing stacks and he will eventually get there. Question is if he'll live long enough between these Eppies and...
Ooh, good dodge by Mira. I don't think he's getting out, but it was still at least made him work for it. Skitter able to pick up the kill top side of the map. Malrine finds Maposhka. You got a Gleipnir, right? Yeah, you are not getting out of this one. Does at least force it. Disruption does come out as Maposhka is just going to do his best to run away here. Or at least buy as much time as he possibly can. Getting tracked, however, by the Treant makes it a little bit more difficult.
Close, actually. For a mid versus support fight, that Sunstrike coming in gets Nature's awfully low.
Looks like Falcons now are going to be the ones that go the Roche.
I mean, with Enchantress to tank, you have as much time as you want. Scouted right away.
Arena's not super healthy if they manage to get in here in time on the Sand King, but looks like it's just a little bit too slow. Smoke is coming, but Roshan down to like 10% HP. Collapse, you're not going to make it. Smoke pops, arrow, off the mark. He's thinking of going anyway. Does he oh, the TP out crit on the high ground. Collapse has got his attention set on Amar, though. And I don't think they're going to find him. Oh, no.
They keep looking. Okay, never mind.
He's just going to, like, cut the next wave. He sees them all up here.
Yeah, that is a great escape. He may just not have had enough vision. He could have stunned the Tusk, but I think he was on the low ground to the high ground. He may not have noticed.
Amar now needs to be very careful. They just dewarded. Yeah, and he's going to immediately TP out. He lost the vision there. All right. Reminder, everybody, to go ahead and follow and subscribe to Fissure here on YouTube and Twitch. They've put together this amazing tournament, and I just want to say thank you to them for doing so. Show them some love.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Tormentor down at the 20-minute mark. Good find here from Spirit. You didn't get the Roshan, but you're still in a little bit of a gold advantage. You get yourself the Shard for Mirana. That third leap is always useful.
I gotta say, for all these Sunstrikes that are landing, I really thought Laurel would be richer. He's 2-1-7, but he doesn't have as many last hits as he usually would because his team is farming everything more than he is.
Yeah, that's a good point. Mage Slayer on Slark after now has the defusal into SNY.
Radiant are scanning.
So what do you want to do with your Aegis? So far it seems they're content to farm. You still have 3 minutes. Maybe they're waiting for Pipe on Mars. It's still 1,000 gold away, though.
I really like the Solar Crest pickup here from... Ooh, nice bait. Trying to get that use. Oh, he gets the blink out, though. Dude, Collapse is just in their mind. Marine forced to BKB on the backside. Sprout's not going to connect. The Wrath of Nature doing some work, but Skitter, he is in all alone. They've just let him die. He cannot get out of this. The Depth tried to buy a little bit of space, but Collapse will pop him. That's the Aegis. Verdon still got plenty of time left on this meta, and jeez.
think they did that just a little bit too soon. Nature's was still in the process of going home to get his BKB, and Tusk had been picking up the Wisdom Rune.
Oh my
Watched the
goodness.
last series, didn't want to have every single one stolen. Good time for that voice line.
Wow, they are... Collapse is playing out of his mind in this game right now. Bottom lane, Malrine gets found as well. Laurel with the Sunstrike to secure the kill. These are huge kills. Like, the Nature's Prophet is a pinata if you actually find him.
Team Spirit is playing so well. The only thing Falcons has really been able to get going is taking that Roche. And then they didn't even get anything out of that Roche. They lost the fight with that Aegis.
And then you lost, like, the two biggest heroes. You know, you lost the
Yeah.
Slark and the Nature's Prophet.
Now they're nearly at a 10k lead at 23 minutes. There's already a Scotty on this Terrorblade, which is terrifying.
This Terrorblade is going to be a massive issue. Not just itemized, but the fact that he gets Alacrity from this Invoker is going to be a huge issue. And you're going to be able to just aura this guy up, right? You have the Crimson Guard, which you've already seen. Is there... What's being built on the Mirana? Do you know?
I believe it was Greaves. She finished
Okay.
Greaves.
Yeah,
She has
that's
an
what I figured.
Ags queued up. That's how rich she is.
Yeah.
She's approaching Mars.
Tormentor Shard will go to Snaking. I mean, it's okay. Not bad, not bad.
Puszka bomba сейчас будет все у нас.
And Shadow Demon also picked up a Solar Crest. So actually, I was going to say, if they get a Solar Crest for this Terrorblade, like, this guy is going to be doing an absurd amount of damage in these fights. And yeah, it looks like they've already got one.
You have Solar Flare buff too, I suppose. 60 extra damage and attack speed from Mirana. So that'll be... Yeah, you just stand behind the Terrorblade, stick him in front.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Dude, I'm just so curious. Malrine's just like hiding up here, but he's forcing the wave in with his Ironwood Treant.
Yeah, you don't want to take any direct team fights right now. So you need to split up the map and then try to find Team Spirit. Split up dealing with your annoying ratting. But so far, unable to find anything in that sense. Because Laurel can do something similar, right? With his global Sunstrikes, he can deal with the ratting while still contributing.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
So do you think he finishes the BKB or the Butterfly first here on Radon?
I guess he's pivoting for the Butterfly. Kind of makes sense. It's a lot of right-click damage from Falcons, not that much spell damage.
That's actually a really good point. And he's tanky enough, right? I think with the auras from his team that he could probably not get bursted.
He also has the Pupils gift, so much extra free strength.
All right, smoke up to the high ground. The ward does see him, but the Blink the Burrow Strike, who have they found? It's going to be the Tusk the Sunstrike, not connecting in time as there's the Ice Shards, but Crit, of course, gonna have a hard time getting out of this one. Nice usage of the Drinking Buddies to get away. A BKB on the backside, forced out of Malrine. A great depth route to get him to safety, but the Tornado comes out from Laurel. Now they've just found Skitter instead. Great Shadow Dance and a great arena from Amar, but can you actually get out of this on Falcons? They've just used everything to try and survive, but it's not gonna be enough. Amar dies. And the Blinks continue. Collapse is found snaking by the base, tries to sproink up onto the high ground, but they've just got so much damage. He cannot get away.
I mean, it was great spell casting from Falcons, but it's all just to run away. And even though Spirit in the end only grabs 2 kills, they're still right by your base. So they grab this tier 2 real quick. Mid lane is pretty close to that tier 2 as well. Even as meta ends, I think they can still just walk at it with Zeal and finish it off. I see him rushing over there. No one beat me to these creeps. He knows how much Collapse has been farming.
And Demon,
I'm there first. They're mine.
I think Demon Zeal is one of the most underrated shards in the game. Like, a lot of people don't buy this, and it's kind of wild because as soon as meta ends, you pop Demon Zeal and you're hasted running around the map, farming so much. It's like a second meta, but exclusively used for farming. It's really good, and that's one of the reasons he's this farmed.
It's because it started off kind of bad.
Yeah, it got buffed a lot.
People were like, yeah, a lot of people were like, I hate Zeal, it's the worst. And it was hard for people to change their minds from that. Even after it was getting buffed, people were still like, no, it was garbage, it's always going to be garbage. Right? But you need people like Radon to show you how it's done, and then you're like, oh, maybe okay. I mean, if Radon's doing it, I guess it's kind of okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he goes this like every game relatively early.
I think it was like his second item.
Yeah, I'm also think it was. Yeah, he goes this so quick. Mid lane snaking, gets the D ward, but boy oh boy, is the whole team here ready to go. Dude, it doesn't even look like he could do anything. It didn't even look like Untouchable was active with the Terrorblade beating him.
Well, there's the...
Oh boy. Meta, Alacrity, as well as the Solar Crest. Goodbye high ground, as the team will sit right behind the Terrorblade. The Butterfly is done. Maureen's going to come in. The TP from Amar as well. But the full lane of Barracks is dead so dang fast. He's going to turn his attention to top, and it's only a matter of time before the Alacrity and the Solar Crest are back off cooldown again. Fortification out from Falcons to buy themselves a little bit of breathing room here. A good wraparound collapse. He knows something's up. He actually breaks their smoke. Skitter with the wraparound will walk into them. He's actually in a lot of trouble. Gets the Shadow Dance off. Trying to just lean into Maposhka, but here's the spear back. The Mars Arena. It's got him. Can you actually bring him down? It doesn't look like it. There's just so much saves. The huge burrow strike from Collapse with an epi. They just ripped through the entirety of Falcons. 3 dead. Nobody even in danger on Spirit, and the GG comes out. Game 1 goes to Spirit.
I'm trying to think where this got so out of control. The lanes were all okay to start, but then I think Sunstrike just started contributing before the Natures could, right? Natures wants to lane a little bit, then he has level 1 teleport. Laurel's Invoker was able to Sunstrike and never miss, apparently. Oh, he had one misclick in the mid lane.
Yeah,
that was the
right.
one. Everything else connected, and it just pushed the fights ever so slightly in his favor every time. And many of these fights were really close. Heroes getting away with just like 100 health. That bottom lane Terrorblade, the armor tanking up so much versus like Drinking Buddy's God's Rebuke. That should be a really strong combo, but it's all physical, and so it takes a long time to kill Terrorblade. I remember they did one dive where the Sunstrikes come in again, and Spirit ends up ahead in that. So I think it's just a series of small fights that they kept coming out ahead in just barely. I also feel like it was a draft issue. I don't know. What do you think?
I think a lot of this game comes down to Collapse. Like, I don't know exactly what happened at around the 8-minute mark. Maybe I can't remember if he was involved in one of those dives on the bottom lane. Maybe he was, and he TP'd in and turned it. But he went from like kind of even in net worth with the Slark to like 2,500 in front of him, and like 3 minutes later. Like, he exploded in net worth, and it actually just made this game impossible for Falcons to pressure, because his blink initiations are always so reliable because he's Sand King. He gets a really early Crimson Guard. And then you have like Mira with Guardian Greaves. Like, Shadow Demon's not an easy kill because he has Solar Crest and Disruption. Like, I don't know who you go on as Falcons. Like, there's no target that's like an easy pick off. And we've seen this last fight, right? Like, the blink spear back into Arena on the Shadow Demon, he comes out of Disruption full HP.
I think that's a good point. I don't know what you change. What do you even change for Falcons? Maybe the Slark pick. Should you have picked Slark? Maybe there's something different that could help you fight a little bit more. I think that's the way he tried to play on the Slark, and we saw that Depth Shroud and Shadow Dance were good.
Yeah,
but they were just kind of behind at that point. So maybe the draft is fine. You just have to execute a little better.
I think you might be right on that. I think it's one of those things that like Slark, when like kind of even or ahead, is actually really strong against the Team Spirit heroes. But in the Invoker, like Quas Exort build, absolutely owned this game. And you have a lot of zone control. So like Slark pops his ult and there's still like an epicenter. There's still tornadoes, which he held his tornado every single time for Shadow Dance or the Depth Shroud. So like big attention to just the spell casting on Spirit this game. It was so on point.
Spirit looking to repeat last series, beat Falcons again. I mean, look at the, you can see the difference in the damage, right? Like once Spirit started going, they were just the ones winning every fight, and they had a variety of auras.
Yeah, I just also didn't really feel the impact of the MOUZ this game. There was like a couple arenas that were like okay, but there was very lack of follow-up, or it was being used as like a defensive tool to get his team out of it. Like I think even the first arena we saw in the bottom lane, he used to run away from Shadow Demon Terrorblade and get Sunstriked anyway, right? Like that was like the story of the whole game. It felt really rough. Credit to Spirit. Like this was them playing absolutely perfect. Like they did such a slick performance from beginning to end, and a well-deserved victory.
Yeah, I think they had a really good setup for the Sunstrike, which we often see like Quas Wex going, but he played amazing on that Invoker, who happens to have some great sets. And if you want any of those, make sure you're joining that giveaway. !1x give to join in. We are approaching the end of the tournament. Tomorrow is the last day, guys, so you got to get your prizes while you can.
All right. Very good points. And for now, we're going to go to a short break, everyone, and we'll be back with game number 2 here of this upper bracket final. Stay tuned. We'll see you in a bit.
about the esports in your pocket.
Welcome back, everybody, to the FISSURE Universe Episode 3. It is the upper bracket finals as Team Spirit are taking on Falcons, and an incredibly slick game one for Team Spirit as they get themselves an early victory, man. That was a like textbook performance from them. They played incredibly well.
Yeah, especially so Collapse's farming was really good. I took stacks. There was 18 stacks by Team Spirit. Now Falcons had a decent amount at 11, but still shows where some of that net worth came from those supports being consistent in finding time to stack for their Sand King to hit like an insane 6k net worth at 10 minutes. But then also Laurel just, I don't know, man, he just did not miss a Sunstrike. Very impressive work. Now, of course, their draft helped to set him up with the stuns is what I thought would happen. But then most of the Sunstrikes he landed didn't even have a setup. They just came while people were running.
Yeah, I'm kind of shocked at how well he played on his Invoker. But, I mean, Laurel has been one of the best mid laners in my eyes for the last couple of years. I know when he joined this team, people were like kind of questioning whether or not he could fill the, some pretty big shoes, and he has absolutely stepped up and he's been owning ever since. So big props to him. He is definitely one of the best ones out there. We're gonna take a look at the bans though. Tinker, Omni, Shadow Demon, and this time the Sand King, all gonna be banned out. The Doom, as well as the Timbersaw, once again from Team Spirit. We saw this last time, so now they have some choices in terms of what they want for their overall first pick. A lot of heroes still available.
Last time Falcons banned out Morphling and Naga.
I wonder if you go for the Naga Siren.
You could. They played a lot of Dragonite in the past. The last series they went against each other, but last time we saw them ban the DK, take the Sand King. I wonder if you go for it this time. Lena totally ignored last series. Really thought we'd see her come through. Wonder if she would have made a difference for Falcons, perhaps, if they went for her at some point. I suspect we're not going to see her here, at least in this first pick, since they didn't do it last time.
Okay, they just go simple. Pick the Enchantress. Why not?
A Poshka Classic.
Good stuff, good stuff. Like that. As we jump further into this draft, everyone, quick reminder, there is all the match stats, odds, as well as some promotions that can all be found inside of the 1xBet app. To sign up for that, you can find a link below the streams in the banner as well. So, big shout out to them. Good way to get involved. And they go for the Naga Siren themselves on Falcons. Okay, yeah, I mean, it makes it through the first phase. We see the Enchantress, but the Naga Siren, the response from Falcons, which we've seen this hero do a lot.
Yeah, I think it's a really strong support right now. That's why you can pick it so early. You don't care if it gets countered that much because it's just going to be a solid lane, early contribution, and good team fight impact with the ultimate. It can be tricky, but the pro teams, they're coordinating, they're figuring out. Right, so it's easy to use Song correctly. Probably just 2 supports picked up here, but of course we might still see that carry Naga, which we always talk about, but lately it's again and again and again support Naga every time.
Yeah.
All right, the Mirana that we saw last game would have been a good combo with the Ensnare. Not as good of a combo with Enchantress, so maybe less interested in picking it up for themselves, more worried about it being picked against them. They're going to ban it out. And then maybe ban a hero that deals with the creeps.
I could see that. I think overall Falcons actually really like the Naga Siren and the Mirana. This is a team that can flex it to a lot of different roles. So it kind of makes sense. And like you said, does deal with the creeps. The Lena does get banned at this time. I think that's actually a pretty sick 1-5 combo, the Lena and the Naga Siren. So I think, yeah, this time we're going to see it actually get banned because you could just pick the Lena at the opening of phase 2 here, and it's pretty safe because there's not a lot of lanes that can play into Lena Naga Siren, and you could still even flex the Lena to the mid lane. So that's a really heads up ban actually.
Also, just an insane amount of burst to kill your Enchantress.
Yeah.
Who will be strong versus the physical attacks, but spells, goodbye. You're just removed. So what do you want for Falcons? You want to keep that Naga flex alive a little bit. Nature's still in the pool. Maybe your confidence is shaken a little bit, but I still think it's a strong hero. So do they. They're going to repeat it. I think Ensnare is also a good setup. Actually, Song as well, right? You could Song someone, TP in. So you've got the setup for it. Stable lanes. They have Enchantress, so I don't think you want to run off lane natures or for support natures if you can help. If you can help it.
5 seconds remaining.
Maybe just stick it on Malrine again in that mid lane.
You could. I think it's an option. I think this is a strong safe lane, though, if they do want to go for it. They get the Pango, though, which this is a really strong hero into the Nature's Prophet, also into the Naga Siren. So this is a cool pick overall.
Yeah, it helps to dissuade the carry Naga pick because Pango's a classic response to illusion heroes. You get the Aghanims and you just clear out all the illusions as you're just rolling around like you normally would. Flex between mid and off lane, so if you can find another flex pick here, that'd be great. But I think if you reveal something, like a support, that'd be fine.
Oh,
ooh,
baby.
there you go. So
that's cool.
Could be the force sniper, could be the mid sniper.
Dude, this makes 5-position Naga Siren like unplayable in this lane. You actually can't do anything here.
It would be pretty rough.
You have Shield Crash and Scatter Shot if they want to run the offlane Pango. Like, these illusions would instantly die if you try to summon them. You'll still get, you know, a little bit of harassment damage out, but
maybe you could do 4 Naga.
Yeah, I think you
and
might.
And then I don't know if Nature's 5 would have a good time either. Maybe take something like Clockwork, who can just try to get on top of these heroes, and later on in team fights, Hookshot will be very annoying. Like Hookshot Cogs at the Pango, he's gonna have a hard time rolling out of that. Or get on top of Sniper. He can't really escape. Oh, actually, that's not true. He'll get Concussive Grenade. Support Sniper. Concussive Grenade. But if it is a core Sniper, you could build something like Blade Mail, jump on top of him. He's not gonna have a great time. Trying to see who else they have to pick. Jakira's gone mostly ignored. I'm surprised.
Yeah.
I still think he's a strong laner, but
I think with the heroes we see so far, the Enchantress, Nature's Prophet, Naga Siren, it might not be possible. They will go for the Bloodseeker, which I think this is typically played by Amar for the side of Falcons, like a lot of the time. And it is a good hero into the Pangolier for sure. Now, whether or not it's going to be enough to shut down this hero, or if... I mean, the big question is whether or not it's going to get punished, because we haven't seen Bloodseeker do a whole lot. It's very reliant on its lane combo to do well.
Dude, this Falcons draft looks like just a classic pub game, man.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
Turns out Dark Willow's the actual carry. She's going to go Midas Ags, and everyone else is supporting jungling over there. All right, this Dark Willow. That's an interesting combo because you can Rupture and then Fear. Make them take a lot of damage if you're rupturing someone that isn't Pango, for example. We've seen throwing Shade be pretty strong. And in the laning stage, you're just really annoying. You actually throw out... It used to be you used Shadow Realm for survivability, and now you're just popping it off cooldown just to throw it at people, do a lot of damage. And you do want to do that to give thirst value to your Bloodseeker. Even if you're not in the same lane, you want your other lanes to be fighting a lot and harassing the enemies to keep them low so that Bloodseeker gets that extra value to work with in the laning stage.
I think they are in the same lane, though. What is that pick?
I don't want to stay low. I've got the healing ward.
I was going to say, I think it is Bloodseeker Dark Willow lane. And so what you're doing is you're playing for the Bramble into the Bloodright. And so rather than worrying about that, you pick Juggernaut, who has Blade Fury.
I mean, it's pretty cool.
And Enchant. Hold on. They might be cooking here. Blade Fury Enchant is kind of sick. It is a lot of damage. This hero, though, is not great in terms of stat gain. It's kind of weak. It is countered pretty easily by a lot of heroes. So maybe now you have to be worried about a Slardar pick, because you could just move the Bloodseeker to your safe lane and then pick something like a Slardar or a Legion Commander, and then I don't know how you play the game on Juggernaut.
5 seconds remaining.
Or it's a support Juggernaut and we're running a core sniper, bro. I don't know.
Team back.
Help me figure this out.
I don't know, man. Okay, I think you're committed to support
10
Naga.
seconds remaining.
Go support Naga. You need someone.
5 seconds
The
remaining.
worry is if it is core sniper, you currently don't have anyone to get to sniper.
Team spirits turn to
If you
battle.
did run carry Naga, I mean, she gets tanky enough she could walk at the sniper, but then you'd be playing into that Pango, which I don't think you want to. So maybe you're looking for a mid hero on Falcons who can get to the sniper in case it is a core sniper. And they again went back for the last pick, so Falcons will at least get to see where this sniper is going, unless they pick another flex pick here. You at least know the safe lane, though, is the Enchantress and Jug. So that could be somewhere you start as well, if you feel good about that, which I don't really see a combination of these heroes that I feel particularly good about into that lane.
Man, I don't know what you do here. Maybe you... I'm trying to think like what your options are for Spirit. The Juggernaut puts you in a weird spot
10
for sure,
seconds
and I
remaining.
don't know what Team Falcons want to do. It's one of those things where Amara is almost always the one playing the Bloodseeker. It's probably just going to be Ballerina again on the Nature's Prophet. But do they want to risk flexing this to a different position to get something that shuts down the Juggernaut lane? And I guess we're going to find out
Team
in a moment. As Spirit last picks the Shaker. So that should be mid Shaker and an offlane Pango, which I really like the Pango Sniper offlane. I think that's really strong.
That is a cool pick, though, because it's a hero that could technically do both. If you
Yeah.
really don't like your mid matchup, you swap it around.
10 seconds remaining.
We're seeing that more and more nowadays. It's really...
5
It's fun.
seconds.
And I like the Urshaker at the end. I think if the Urshaker does not have a good lane, he just ends up being quite sad. I think Bloodseeker in the offlane, I'm kind of selling myself on a little bit if they do decide to go with that, because if you can get move speed from the other lanes, then anytime Jug spins, you should be okay. You'll just run away, heal up. So you might be able to at least lane okay,
Unless you get enchanted.
unless you get enchanted.
Yeah, I am curious what this last pick is going to be, because it will kind of potentially make or break the whole draft for Falcons. And a lot of time when I look at stuff like this, I see a Juggernaut, I just want to pick a hero that punishes it in lane. And things like Legion Commander are so good against Juggernaut at all stages of the game. Okay, they go for Monkey King instead. So it's going to be safe lane Nature's Prophet, and they will take the Monkey into the mid lane.
Can't believe they locked in their heroes right away. I thought for sure everyone would hide it because you're hoping it's a mid, like a mid Urshaker, then you take the mid Monkey King.
Lara will take Sniper mid as a result.
Yeah, so you won't have as much problem versus the Monkey. A Monkey will have a solid denies to start, but as Sniper picks up more levels, it becomes pretty annoying for the Monkey King. Unless you can get a gank coming in from the side, which Naga is probably not too bad. Maybe crit with the long-range brambles. Sniper will have to be a little bit careful. It does make your offlane a little more awkward, the Pango Earthshaker, but Earthshaker will just creep drag, fissure block,
Yeah.
do whatever it takes to get the lane near his tower, and then maybe go roam, help out his sniper. Maybe stack for like 18 times again. Get collapsed 6k net worth by 10 minutes. Pango not nearly as good at farming that as the Sand King, though.
I'm curious what they're going to do with this Juggernaut here. The Bladestorm Facet is definitely the better. I wonder if they actually fixed his innate or not, because it was bugged for a very long time. So I don't know if it's still been fixed or not, but basically There's never been a patch note of it, so they might have shadow buffed. They might have shadow patched it, but essentially his innate didn't work during Omni Slash, which just meant you were missing like 10% damage or something during your Omni Slash, which is kind of a big deal. But I think Sniper Core, especially in the mid lane, should be able to get a lot done here. Because now you have to pick and choose, you know? You either have to kill this Juggernaut or you have to kill this Sniper. Neither of which are going to be easy.
Monkey King and Natures does sound like an interesting core combo, though, because anywhere we talk about the Monkey King having so much mobility, now the Natures can just hop in on those fights. Kind of said that last time too, and it didn't quite happen, but I don't know. They were trying, right? We did say like there were a lot of fights that were very close, and maybe in another world where Falcons is the one winning those by just like a few, like 100 health in the fights here and there, then they end up stomping that game.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I am so hesitant to like say Spirit's draft is good because of the Juggernaut. Like, this is a hero that has pretty much gone unpicked for a reason. People don't like it because it's typically very weak in terms of its kind of ability to enter the game, but we'll see. We'll come back to that later on as we are paused at the moment. Let's take a look at some of these facets. The ghillie suit for the Sniper actually has a couple really good uses this game. If he manages to activate it, the Nature's Prophet may not be able to find and like TP on top of him, which is kind of a big deal. Same with the Bloodseeker. I like it.
Interesting that he took Slugger on
support.
The Earthshaker support. Yeah, but maybe when you echo and you're killing illusions, do the illusions get knocked around?
I actually don't know because I think they just
noticed.
get popped. I don't think they move, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure on that one, but maybe that's some of the logic. Maybe you picked the wrong one. That's also possible.
好险哦，差一点就让你捕到刀啦！
Some fun all chat going on right now. Oh my god, what is that Slark?
Teams having fun with the new sprays and voice lines.
Oh, absolutely. Ooh, Skitter is blocked off
fissured
completely, but they're bringing the numbers. Snaking is here. Mira will be able to take the rune, and actually a cheeky play there from Collapse. Goes top with the shield crash to take away the third bounty. So slight advantage for Spirit. Dude, I love that. Whoever drew that deserves a raise. That is incredible.
What is...
Wait, what?
That does not stack.
That had to be a misclick, right?
There's not like a pause hotkey, sorry.
That had to be a misclick. I'm like, he just accidentally used all three shrapnels.
What a show of strength.
Yeah, two of which didn't land on anything. I don't know.
I don't know what just happened. Unfortunate misclick.
Maybe he has it on quick cast and like accidentally hit the button. I don't know.
Sneezed, lost control of his hand. He looked at he just noticed the Slark spray and laughed so hard.
just wheezing through his nose, you know, accidentally hits the button. Great courier kill there from Crit. Snaking's actually taking a lot of damage here top lane.
Yeah, there's a nice thing about Naga though, she's so fast, and if you're ever worried, you just throw Deluge, cap the enemy's move speed at 225 and walk away.
Classic.
Fissure block, pretty good.
Blood grenades out, shield crash, they get him. First blood for Collapse. If there's anything last game taught me, that is not a good, not something that you can really afford. He just gets double bracer off of it immediately.
That is very nice. Because you're going to take a lot of poke damage from the
yeah.
tree, the natures, the Naga. So a little extra healing from those bracers will go a long way. And I wouldn't be surprised to see him buy a Crimson Guard this game, so that extra strength
Yeah.
will also go to good use later on.
Crit. Body blocking the small camp spawn and TPing out. A classic play. Mira's actually stuck inside the tree there. He had no TP, just body blocked up by Snaking. There's going to be the ensnare as well. Shield crash in one. Will be able to use it. Gets decent amount of barrier into the swashbuckle away, but they've got him.
They don't got him.
Was that just like max damage? What was that? Huge
Double
damage block.
bracer with the armor from the tower, keeping him alive.
And
really pushing it here. Oh my goodness. Have some fear. Collapse.
Sprout, auto attack. Doesn't get
What?
it. Dude, he's actually playing right on the edge. He got the range damage proc on every single one of the Nature's Prophet attacks there.
What a gamer.
Sometimes that's all you need. Just all right. They will be able to get the Lotus, though, for Falcons, which that hurts a little bit. The Nature's Prophet, of course, taking advantage of the global teleportation, goes back to the base, buys some items, and he'll be back into the lane in no time.
He's being very aggressive. He wants to try to finish Collapse.
Yeah, really good TPN. They're waiting for the shield crash. There it is. It's going to connect on the 2. He doesn't have a lot of mana. Skitter, actually, just getting beat down.
Collapse.
No way. He has to walk back to lane now on the Nature's Prophet.
Double bracer paying off.
That first blood.
Insane value this game.
I mean, that's also just Mira just walking in as well in the Shaker, doing as much damage as possible. Yeah, the smoke into the long walk back to the lane. You have 9 CS on your safe lane Nature's Prophet. That is not great.
Too good.
Yeah. I mean,
But also,
it really is. Shield
just
crash is
underestimating the damage coming out from, I think, the position 4 Earthshaker. Just like the combo of that, I guess.
There's such a huge wave here for Collapse as well. Triple range creep. Snaking at least forces it like into the tower, which is really smart, but Collapse is having an amazing game once again. And Skitter on the cover of the smoke. Maybe gonna be like, okay, let's try this again, maybe. Mid lane Mira's gonna get a D ward. All right, what about the Sniper Monkey King? So right now it looks pretty even.
Radiant's courier.
I think it gets better for the Sniper the more levels he gets, right?
I think so. But Monkey has done okay up to this point, so he'll hit like a level 6 at a decent time. His phase boots are almost finished, so he'll be able to start moving around even as this lane becomes very irritating. And maybe we'll start seeing some rotations between the lanes, which top lane seems like it might need a little bit of help.
I don't remember the last time I saw a Bloodseeker versus Juggernaut lane. That was interesting. Amar doing quite well farming, though. He's the one person on his team who's having a pretty decent go at it. I think Monkey King is still doing okay, but
It's because Collapse was living at 5 health for like 3 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
He
You're
must have
right.
been zooming down here with Thirst.
All right, 6-minute power rune is going to be big here. Both teams looking to rotate around for this. There's actually still a water rune in the bottom lane.
Well, Monkey King and Sniper are really low down on the mids who care about power runes and water runes, so I guess that's why it's still there.
Ends up.
Shield rune bottom.
Okay. I mean, that's good. It can get dispelled by the Enchantress, but she's not going to be in that lane anytime soon. The third point in Blade Fury is a massive boost in damage for the Juggernaut, and I am curious if they're going to be able to get anything done with it. They are going to go ahead and bring the Monkey King down here. Not scouted at the moment, as Maureen... Again, you could just enchant off that shield rune, and I think they know that, so he doesn't decide to dive. Pushes up his phase boots.
Close to see to Rupture. Not quite there yet.
7-minute wisdoms are just going to go to each team, it looks like. No real pressure on either of them. Snake King gets another D ward. Wait, I just saw Juggernaut's Courier on the top side of the map. Oh, Pango's Courier is also dead. Very nice. Oh, hold on. They've got a nice rotation in here, trying to keep Collapse down, but a great fissure out from Mira. No shield crash for another second, and Malrine with Snake King able to finish the job. Now looking for Mira. I think he's gone. Yeah, he can TP out safely. And we want to give a big shout out to the community drop. So today's winner is going to be Demon Lord. And he gets the very appropriate,
very apt,
yeah, very apt Arcana there for Shadow Fiend, the demon. I think it was the Demon Eater or something like that. That's very cool. Congratulations.
King Gang bottom.
Oh,
there's no rupture.
Blade Fury TP, classic. He's out. For those of you who are wondering how or he manages to get that Arcana, you can participate just by being active in chat. And being here and watching all the games, those Arcanas, I believe, are being given out every day. So make sure to come back tomorrow. You might be the one that wins it.
Apparently, you have to have a good name for the Arcana, though, guys. So make sure you rename yourself.
Yep. And a quick kill for Radon. Takes down the Enchantress. Big Wrath of Nature, though. Gets a stun out onto Mira. Fissure is there, but a lot of damage from the Shadow Realm of crit. Amar running through pretty quick. As in comes Skitter as well. They really want Laurel, but he's just sitting inside of his own shrapnel, and Skitter cannot do the damage. The Rupture is out. Boundless Strike is there. Laurel able to start running away, but can you get the sniper? They do it the last second. Huge Blade Fury, though, onto two. Malrine taking a decent chunk here, but he doesn't have Omni Slash.
Everyone keeps coming to his lane. He's splitting all the XP.
Oh, nice fissure block, actually. Hold up, Amar. Mira? Dude, no way. What a sick solo kill.
Dude, Mira is so good. This guy is insane.
Dude, this whole fight was without... Was Collapse in this fight?
Top lane.
Yeah.
Skitter's having such a rough time, man.
Nice ensnare. He's actually taking a ton of damage from the tower as well. Shield crash does come through. He needs to swashbuckle away to finish the kill into the Rolling Thunder. He's gonna get it. And now, time to turn back around, baby. Malrine trying to break some ankles. Will be able to for the moment. Ooh, wait a minute. You messed up, Collapse. He's trying to get healed up here by the Enchantress, but messes up on his shield crash, nearly dies for it.
That is absurd. How many times is that? That Collapse has barely survived and then gotten a kill. Guys, don't forget, you can get make use of the 100% bonus. Oh, wait. No time for that. There's kills. Okay, now there's time for that. Go, sign up. Few days left in this tournament, but there will be future tournaments as well.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Very nice from Laurel. Just continuing to farm up on the sniper. I mean, he's actually been involved in a decent amount of these fights, and it took him a while to bring him down originally, and that's kind of what I was expecting with this sniper, is you have to commit pretty heavily, like deep into the fight to find this hero, and there's a lot of other damage you're going to be running through to get to him. It might get easier as you pick up levels and like eventually BKBs, but oh my goodness, Amar, you are gonna struggle with this camp. He'll get it eventually. Just a few more blood rights.
Let's go for a mech on the Bloodseeker. It is a team fighting build on a little bit of an unusual hero. We'll see if the Rupture can make the difference. Pango is having a great game. I say that, he's actually at the bottom of his cores. We've just seen Collapse make so many insane plays. Man, last game Collapse had 2,000 more gold. Isn't that ridiculous?
I actually
Dust
it's
Devil again.
Wild. Yeah, it really is. You know. All right. Snake King's gonna go for the Solar Crest on the Naga Siren. We've been seeing this item kind of pop up a lot more recently. It's just getting... People are realizing just how value it is. It gives you a lot of great stats, and the active, of course, helps you pretty much give you everything that you want.
It just synergizes with other auras as well. From the bonus armor and someone's getting a mech. Now they're both working together so that Guardian Greaves eventually gives you an armor aura. So you're making the barrier stronger. You're making the armor boost the health you're getting from the Guardian Greaves. These kind of synergies are what take a good item into an amazing item, but it needs the other items to really work together.
It's the combinations. Smoked up, gonna get popped here. Mira scouts it as he's trying to walk back into his jungle. Nice Bramble out, Curse Crown, but he's just so far away. Casual Windlace doing work right now. Bottom lane, Amar might get some help here as in comes Maureen. He's just gonna go for the Blade Fury TP once again. They don't have the damage to finish the job. And into the jungle he goes, but Maureen might actually go ahead and guess that he didn't go too far back. Okay, never mind. They had heroes here already. Good rotation from the Pango. I mean, Battle Fury is done on this Juggernaut, so he will start picking up his farm speed.
Is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
Middle of this sniper just poking away that mid tower.
Is under attack.
Bottom lane, actually. We're going to see a little bit more action potentially breaking out. Bound the Strike out. Rupture's out. Collapse has to get to the edge of this, but the shield crash and the mech, hold on. It's enough to keep him alive for now. There's going to be the Omni Slash bouncing back and forth, but it ends up getting tanked entirely by the Ironwood Treant.
Needs this Fissure to end.
Oh my goodness, no way. That Ironwood tanked all but one attack of the Omni Slash.
Thank you, Treant, for your service. It also barely took any damage to that because it's reinforced.
Yeah.
That is a big plus to having the Treant this game. Very unlucky for Radon. Good use of Rupture for Falcons, though. In the
Ooh, great
meantime,
balance strike
Laurel never
again.
joined and did take the mid tower. So
That's good.
not a total loss for Spirit.
Yeah, we know it's going to be a rough game for the Pangolier, even though he's had a pretty good start. It's like just the general counter and the Bloodseeker is always really strong. And I'm curious what he's going to do to try and deal with that, because at some point you need to get a Lincoln's. For now, though, what do you think the short-term answer is? Oh, Scan comes out. Laurel's in trouble. Even with an Amplify damage, he is under a lot of pressure here. He knows something's up. They drop the ward. Boundless Strike is out, and in comes the Dark Willow. There is no chance of getting out of this one. Collapse, though. Gets caught from the root, trying to TP out. Shaker with the cancel. Maureen should get picked up here. The Fissure on the other side, but Radon's here. All right. It's going to end up being a 1-for-1 trade. Maybe they get crit, but he's got a blank. Nice disengage from him. Dude, Crit's Willow is so good.
He loves this hero.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Very good at it. And he's also going for the Throwing Shade plus Blink build. He can do a lot of damage, especially once someone is...
No way. There's an Ironwood Treant, NP, and a Bloodseeker, and an Alpha Wolf walks up and denies the tower. That's hilarious.
It's pretty good. Team Spirit seems content to farm. I think they're feeling good about this sniper. You can protect it with the roll, the echo. You force them to come to you.
You have Guardian Greaves now on the Pango, which is nice. And Blink on Shaker. We actually might see them group with this. Radon's going to see the TP in from Snake King, and the Boundless Strike is out. We're going to see a Blade Fury to disengage, drops the Healing Ward, which Maureen will just clean it up. All right, nicely done. Back into Crimson Guard, it looks like, for Amar here. In the bottom lane, gonna get trapped out again. Mira with the blink, putting it to good work right out of the gate. Omni Slash is there, but it goes to the creep camp! How many times does this keep happening? It's not gonna change too much, I guess. Yeah, with Miposhka coming in, he gets it, but really unfortunate Omni Slashes this game.
Gotta get the bad luck out of the way. Push this bottom tower. At least Enchantress will. She's got a Kobold pitching in along with the Satyr Tormentor. His tower's already pretty low. Actually, if no one rotates, it should fall here.
Rolling Thunder from Collapse. Does not want to risk getting caught inside of the Bramble. Gonna try and finish off crit. Does get a little bit of help potentially from the Sniper and the Fissure. Do manage to take down the pesky Dark Willow.
Blink Echo available. If they want to make a play at any time with that. Maybe start pushing a tier 2 tower. Tormentor. Wisdom Rune. That timing's coming up. I like this. Radon knows there's not really any way to cancel his Blade Fury TP unless they can chain stun kill him.
That is huge. I mean, he just walked. He must have been looking at the shop or something. He just walked right into the Terrorize.
You can actually even hear it charging up.
Yeah. Ooh, blink out from Mira, dodging the rotation into the triangle. Means he will probably know there's a ward around there somewhere.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Falcons might be the one who can push up and go for a Tormentor steal. Because of that, Miposhka's TPing over. They're getting ready to fight around here if they have to.
I wouldn't hate going for some sort of a fight at the moment on Falcons, trying to force it, right? I think you have some pretty big item pickups. The Gleipnir as well as the Crimson Guard are good, but you cannot dive the tier 2. You will get heavily punished.
That's really risky into the Blink Echo and roll.
Yeah. So it looks like they might just turn this into 2 tier 1 towers, right? They get the top and the mid. While they finish up this Tormentor, you can use this time to follow and subscribe to Fissure here on Twitch and on YouTube. They're, of course, the studio that are bringing us this amazing tournament, so big shout out to them. They've done an amazing job, so you guys should show them some support. Fissure in the mid lane, trying to delay the tower push here, but it's gone. I'm surprised they forwarded this. Maybe they don't feel like there's going to be pressure to the tier 2s for quite a while, and it'll be back off cooldown when they need it. But top lane, Radon needs to be careful here. Once again, the Monkey King looking for him. Instant Blade Fury TP.
This is why he can play this way.
Yeah.
The last death was a bit unfortunate for him. And maybe a little bit of a mistake. But as long as he spins, he should always be able to get away.
Crit's gonna steal the Wisdom Rune, maybe? Oh no, great Fissure out from Mira. And a really good heads-up play from them. Terrorize does come through. He gets the blink to safety, maybe. Crit, yeah, nicely done.
Naga also TP'd out before the Assassinate could connect. All right, not quite finding what they wanted to, but not dying and forcing some movement from Team Spirit.
And honestly, the Nature's Prophet's been getting a lot of space to farm. Like, he is catching up in terms of net worth, which is pretty important. Manta Style now done on Radon. I was going to say, maybe if you see an Orchid come out early, you'd see him in trouble, but it's actually just going to be a kill top lane onto the Pangolier. Double Gleipnir is available now, plus the Sprout. Like, there's nowhere for him to go.
We've only got one Dispel in the Guardian Greaves. Can't get out of all these routes yet. Once he picks up the Shard, that'll help him a lot. He can maybe dodge the projectile. Or not dodge, but be immune.
Snaking, blocked off. Beautiful grab there from Mira and Laurel. Mira actually almost steals it, but quite funny. Amar gonna take a decent chunk of damage here from Aposhka. Has to pop the Crimson. That's the Rupture out, though, so this is the green light for Pango if he can get into this fight. Wukong's command is out, but a nice Blade Fury from Radon looking to finish off crit. They got him. Double kill for Laurel as they continue to look for more. You will not find Maposhka into the trees. Nice attempt, but this is going to be Roshan now, it looks like, as they group up for this. You can easily take it with the Juggernaut.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way for Falcons to contest this. They're nowhere near. So Skitter just going to try to get what he can out of the top half of the map. He's going to send 2 Treants. He'll get some nice damage in. Never mind. Earth Spirit already on his way to deal with it.
Well, they're on their way to deal with Earth Spirit now. Gleipnir number 1, Sprouts, Gleipnir number 2, instantly dead.
I like how I misspoke, and that made you misspeak and call him Earth Spirit.
Oh, did I say Earth Spirit? Yeah.
After I called him Earth Spirit.
Oh, did you? Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Okay, yeah, whatever, it happens.
Earth Hero. All right, Aegis on Sniper. All right, I think this is why Team Spirit, not that it's been a slow game, but it wasn't as fast-paced as last game. And a lot of it, I think, is that you just have this sniper. You know you're going to be able to sit behind him. You put the Aegis on him, and the enemy has to come to you, and that's going to make it easy to now land your big combos, the blink echoes, the rolls, and you're going to have to kill Sniper twice. So even if you lose the Aegis, you're going to bait the enemy into a bad position.
This is kind of what I was worried about with the Sniper pick, is you get to a point here where you have to commit really heavily to kill him, and if you don't burst him, you're in trouble. Oh, there's going to be the immediate Rupture onto the Pangolier. Great terrorize into the Wukong's command. It's taken him a bit to kill Collapse, but they will finally finish the job. But Malrine needs to get out of here. The shrapnel and the damage from the Sniper. A great boundless strike to reposition, and now Laurel is going to be the one that goes down. Oh, you did not play that one. That did not go at all how you thought it was going to go. Malrine almost dying on the respawn, but they get the Sniper. He played with fire, gets punished. Radon now inside the base with the Blade Fury, able to get away.
Must have been looking ahead. He stepped a little bit into Wukong's command, and they immediately turned on that Sniper in that. But it was a great combo before that, that perhaps Spirit should have just let those heroes go, trying to fight for it. Ends up getting Sniper killed, and now they don't have enough to defend.
I mean, your Juggernaut just wasn't even in the fight at all. I think that was a big part of it, right? Snaking mid lane. Gonna take a decent chunk of damage here from Collapse. The Solar Crest, of course, absorbing a lot of the damage, but it will finish the job. I was gonna ask, have you noticed Radon's items? He has Phase Boots and now Boots of Travel.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Mira
Wants to match the global pressure.
Okay, that is some respect. They're like, all right, we need to put this on cooldown and just get a kill. Echo to finish off the Dark Willow. Top lane, though, Marine makes quick work of Mira.
Dead before Skitter can even get an assist on that.
All right, we are dead even now in this game. It's 13-16, almost no gold advantage for either team. And the Nature's Prophet has now finally eclipsed the heroes on the side of Spirit after that last engagement. And he's going to start scaling. Pretty scary here.
I like this blink Laurel has queued up. I think this will make it even harder. Like, we've been talking about how you have to commit to the Sniper. Nature's is not a mobile hero. As soon as he teleports in, that is his location for the fight. Monkey King, more mobility, but if you touch him, Tree Dance cannot be cast again, right? So if Laurel's fast and his team can react, he'll just always be in a good position in these fights, and you won't be able to get to him. And his items are getting up there. He's going to start doing some serious damage.
Is it Boots of Travel 2 that reduces the channel time on TP? It's not 1, right? Boots of Travel 1 doesn't reduce it. It's just bots 2.
It doesn't reduce, but it prevents you from having the like multi-teleport long TP, I think. And then it's Boots of 2 that actually reduces the channel time.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Both teams just avoiding each other for now. Uh-oh. Caster Zach coming in. Don't worry, nothing's happening right now, Ricky.
Like, I don't know what happened. The browser just crashed. We're fine. No one noticed. Just said nothing.
Looks like they're preparing to fight over tier 2. Falcon has good vision down here, so Spirit's got to be careful moving into this jungle. Sniper's not quite here yet. This is exactly how you lost the last fight, so
yeah,
Spirit's got to be careful until they properly group up. It's like they've decided against it, though. And I think it's a safe call because this vision is so good from Falcons. You'd see everything you need to. In particular, you'd find the sniper.
Yeah. Well, mid lane, Collapse going to walk right under a ward. Do they want to go for him is the question. A boundless strike into the Rupture would be pretty much ideal.
Good positioning from Monkey King to break that smoke.
Snake King has been doing so good on the illusions. We saw this earlier, right, from 9 class, like microing the illusions through the fight. And this has been really good. See some packet loss here from Falcons.
Dance! Dance! Why am I smiling? This is what trigger happy looks like.
Butterfly for Juggernaut will be really nice. This is like a 5 right-clicking lineup on the enemy team.
Yeah. While we're paused here, we can use this time to give a good shout out to our sponsor, 1xBet. The people behind being able to put together the FISSURE Universe Ep.3. So thank you guys so much for sponsoring the event.
And giving away all these cool sets.
Yeah.
Sign up, guys, in this pause. You're not missing anything.
All right, so I'm curious what this Juggernaut's gonna be able to do this game, because we really have not seen too much on this hero yet. Like he's 3, 1, and 4, right? It's not bad, but his hero, it can farm and then late game do some ridiculous stuff once he gets towards his level 20 talent, because his 20 talent is a massive improvement for his hero. So
yeah, we've seen unlucky Omni Slashes so far, but
yeah,
everyone watching has experienced late game Juggernaut. You know, if you're by yourself, you can be destroyed by a single Omni Slash, and well, I'm sure that'll come into play coming up in this game, but doesn't seem like quite yet. It seems like he wants his Battle Fury, which will help him, or sorry, this Butterfly, which will help him a lot versus all this right click. He doesn't have the Ags yet, which a lot of Jugs like to have.
it does give you a lot of scaling damage as well with your Blade Fury. So even if you are not able to auto attack, your Blade Fury's damage increase goes up quite a bit with the Butterfly attack speed.
I also like, he has, I don't know what order he'll buy it in, but he also has the Basher queued up, which I think is good. One, because there's BKB, so you'll have a way to deal with it. But two, I really think Sniper will be doing a lot of the work here. And by bashing up opponents who are BKB trying to chase your Sniper, you can help protect him, keep him alive.
Yeah, and if you do happen to isolate a hero in an Omni Slash, the Basher will absolutely prevent them from going anywhere.
Yep. Sniper actually changed his mind. He's just going to go straight BKB. I liked the Blink idea. Maybe he'll go back for it later.
I think it's fine later. I do agree. I think BKB might be kind of a necessity at this point. I mean, he's got the Mjolnir. He's got decent damage output with Hurricane Pike as well. But I think with a BKB and the fight, he can stand his ground quite a bit easier. And they really need to start. They really need to get the shard on this hero too. He might get it off the next Tormentor, right? They have 3 of the 5 already. So it's either going to go to the Jug or to the Sniper. I think Snipers would be better, but we'll see.
I mean, it's not only a reposition for him, but you could disarm any of these right-clicking heroes, force them to BKB.
Yeah, the disarm for me is the big deal. Like, if the Nature's Prophet comes in, you can disarm him. He has to BKB it. Or if the BKBs are over and you're alive, the disarm and the slow from it is super obnoxious. Skitter going to go for the Daedalus now as he hits his level 20.
Skitter's finding Mira. Oh, fast blink out. Never mind.
Yep.
Actually, they're looking. Aggressive TP in. Curse of the Old Grove just off, but Snake King has found him. Mira is not getting out of this one.
Not at all. Kill will be credited to Maureen, who is now unstoppable. I mean, this offlane Bloodseeker, as weird as it is, has done exactly what they wanted. He's got Crimson Guard, he's got Guardian Greaves, he now has a Halberd coming out. And all he's doing is running around trying to rupture the Pangolier.
Pango in response does have his Lincolns queued up.
Make sure to go ahead and type exclamation point 1x give in chat to get an opportunity to win some sick Arcanas and sets. That giveaway, of course, is going on right now. You can find the details.
Uncharacteristic. They don't have the timer right for this Roche. It can't even begin to spawn yet, but they're checking. Unless they thought someone was hiding in there.
Dude, these Boots of Travel were just an investment because he has to Blade Fury TP so many times. That's all this is.
You know what? Actually, that's a great point. You can do it twice as frequently.
Yeah.
Because of Boots of Travel. I actually really like that point.
I think that's actually what it was. Like, he had to Blade Fury TP like 5 times, and he's just tired of buying TP scrolls. So he's like, well, this is an investment.
You get to run out again faster.
Mm-hmm.
And you know you're going to need him at some point anyhow.
Yeah.
You're going to have to deal with Skitter ratting. Oh, Rat Prophet.
They have so many good split push heroes, man. The Nature's Prophet, the Dark Willow, you've got Monkey King, like Naga Siren, like all of these heroes can cut waves so easily.
Mm-hmm. All right, relatively short Roshan spawn. It'll spawn again here in about 23 seconds.
Dire are scanning.
Oh, Falcon's actually leaving right before. Looking for a kill top just as Spirit all leaves this area. They're looking for the Jug, who's been living in their top lane. They do have enough damage now that if they get the jump, they could kill him before he can TP out.
I mean, I think they just...
Dawn kills Skitter. Gleipnir. Okay, immediately TP out.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think you just Blade Fury, even if you try to Blade Fury TP, like, they just have enough raw right-click damage to kill him.
Yeah, so he's got to be extra careful with that.
Smoke into the bottom lane. They know they're coming across the map. As Roshan, like you said, it's up. The team that grabs this could probably take control of the next big push, right? We have one outer tower remaining for Spirit, but 2 still for Falcons.
Spirit's going to establish the position first.
Dude, I mean, they got
See, it's
Roche
up and they go
last time,
straight
right?
for
So they will get the roar here and no, and Falcons is fairly close. Do they get this done in time? I mean, Juggernaut is doing it so dang fast, actually, my lord. Okay, Aegis hits the deck. That's going to be the banner as well. The full team retreat. That is a really good call to just leave. They have no idea where Falcons is.
They're trying to TP in to see if people are retreating. Nothing. Very fast from Spirit. Usually people hesitate. They get there. They're trying to find the position. You know, what's the enemy team doing? Team Spirit calls it. They're like, just go. Just do it. They'll never expect this. And they did not. Too slow to get here.
And now with the Basher done, gonna go for the Aghanim Scepter on the Juggernaut, which is such a huge item on this hero. It is gap close, it is repositioning, it is solo kill potential. It's pretty much his his core item in the late game. Speaking of Aghanim Scepters, I saw one on the Naga Siren there. They're tired of the Blade Fury TP. He's working towards
That's
Ags.
pretty good. It'll also be good versus the roll if you don't manage to rupture him.
Yeah.
You could roll Pango instead, or ensnare Pango.
Smoked up on Spirit, heading into the triangle. The Bloodseeker is there. They drop a Ward Sentry. They will see him collapse immediately into the Rolling Thunder. Amar gonna get chain stunned up. Little bit of a rough fissure there, but I don't think it's gonna make too much of a difference. They've got the numbers. Rupture, just, I guess, to make a statement. I don't know. But nice kill there from Spirit, taking the Bloodseeker off the map. And that's your auras as well, so they should be able to well, I was going to say they should be able to do something with this, but all of their lanes are pushed in. Like, mid lane's at their tower, bottom lane pushed in from Snaking, Malorine pushed top. Like, they can't really take an objective. Oh, Fissure. Echo comes out. They just really want this Monkey King. He's going to BKB Wukong's command, trying to finish off Mira. He won't be able to do it, but he gets the TP out.
What a call to even try to kill Mira before getting out of there. Doesn't panic, knows how much time he has with the BKB, but does not get the kill. Does not get killed, though, and that was the Echo committed to it. But like you said, these lanes always being pushed in by Falcons. They're playing a very macro-based game, not worried about if we get picked off, if we get killed. Obviously, we don't want to, but if they can't do anything with it, then it just doesn't matter. And it's been really tough for Spirit for these last few minutes to keep the lanes past the river. People are just ratting all the time with illusions, with treants, hiding in the trees, popping out after people have gone in. Like right now, Spirit's trying to push in top. Now making their way mid, and the bottom lane moving into their base.
This is gonna be so much. Yeah, it's like he pops the Crimson Guard, but the Blade Fury's magic damage is overwhelming. And that's gonna be a tier 2.
He stuck around for that.
Yeah, 1,000 Blade Fury damage. That was, I mean, the sniper even did a ton. Maureen top lane. He has no BKB. He gets a quick kill onto the Earthshaker, but Laurel trying to stay nearby, and Radon, does he just Omni him? He absolutely will. Going for the Wukong's command, but the bash connects. And 80 seconds, no Monkey King. That is a massive find.
Falcons recognizes that they can't fight. Spirit doesn't know there's no buyback, but Falcons does, so they're trying to bait them to come back. They're pushing in bottom, trying to threaten this high ground with the Ironwood Treants.
They've got the Skelly boys. I mean, you're going to fort this for sure. You got to get the little skeletons out of there. Get another round of summons off. Healing Ward is out. I mean, you're going to have plenty of time to still finish the tower. Meanwhile, Pango in the bottom lane he's taking so much damage here, but gets the swashbuckle up onto the high ground, and Skitter, he BKB'd for this. He has to leave. And now the question is, can the rest of them get out? No.
And they lose the gem.
Oh, that was a gem too? You lose tier 3 and the gem. All right, Spirit starting to ramp it up. This Aegis getting put to really good use from Spirit. There's only 30 seconds left on it. They managed to find some really big kills around the map.
I suppose you did bait Spirit to come back, though. And your Monkey King, who had no buyback, all you lost was a tier 3. You didn't get racked. Relatively good. And you wasted Aegis time. So this is the Aegis expiring in just a second.
Dude, the MKB
Not
done
too
on
bad.
Laurel is also really big. He's starting to have a lot of damage on the sniper. He's not just like the shrapnel hero. Bots 2 comes out. Radon joining the Shaker on the top side of the map. The Echo as well. Okay, now the Boots of Travel being used offensively to join his Earthshaker. Really sick stuff from Spirit.
That was a great pickoff. They keep finding the Bloodseeker, who's pretty important to these team fights because of all the auras he has.
Yeah.
And his ultimate being the response to the Pango roll. So without having any of that,
Collapse picked
Falcons
up
just
a
continues
late
to have to play the efficiency game.
They're doing a good job at keeping these lanes pushed, right? Like, that's what they can do extremely well as this lineup. But Radon is going to call their bluff, take the ranged barracks top, get working on the melee, and with Laurel and Miposhka with an Alpha Wolf, that goes down really fast.
This cannot be right. He took 2 healing ward hits at level 25? That's gotta be a misclick over Omni Slash +1, right?
Are scanning.
Honestly, the healing ward plus hits is pretty big. Because only Nature's Prophet really can get this.
Guess so. Song catches Enchantress.
I mean, Sproink 4 staffs away. Radon is here. Just Omni slashes him. Goodbye. Deletes one. Maureen's got to get away, but the bash comes out, and they got the Blade Fury as well. He's trying to TP out. He gets away. Just 2 kills. Bots is back to his creep wave, and he's not that far. He's going to rejoin his team. Skitter trying to make it out to the high ground, but the sniper just ripping through him. He pops the Satanic, but it's not enough. Miposhka in the enemy base as well. Oh my, this game just fell apart.
They actually just ended.
They do.
Sniper has the Ancient Guardian. He's got plus 100
They
extra
just
damage.
GG. This game ended in an instant.
That could have gone on for a lot longer, but it is one of those things where both teams have reached the point. Like, if you win a big enough fight and you're by the buildings, you'll destroy them all really quickly. So it's all about finding that fight. And up to this point, Spirit had managed to find a lot of smaller pickoffs, but their lanes were always shoved in. They always had to back off. But finally, they find a series of kills right in front of the base. And I think Falcons recognize that. They're like, that's a sniper. That's a Jug. Our buildings are done. It's over.
Yeah, I think we get to a point here where, you know, late game Juggernaut is always very scary. We got a replay of this fight, right? It's just such a bait by this Enchantress. She's so tanky, and you're going to run in, get immediately full duration Omni Slash, and yeah, it's like, oh, having the extra duration would be nice, but it's still enough damage, right? Like, this Juggernaut does so much work if he's taking, you know, the 1v1 or, you know, even the 2v1. The full Omni Slash is a lot, and Skitter here has no idea what he can do. He is just getting completely taken down from the sniper, which he can't even see thanks to the ghillie suit. So
yeah. So it's not quite how I thought it would happen, but that is what the sniper does, right? Nature's is not a mobile hero. As soon as he's in a bad spot, that's it. There's no escape. He has to just try to teleport out, which, are you going to make it out? It's a long channel time with a sniper peppering you with attacks, and the Jug coming in with the Omni Slash if he has to. It's all about keeping them split up and finding pickoffs for Falcons, but Spirit did a great job. A lot of really good map reads, avoiding those kind of ganks. We really did not see the Natures be able to jump into fights, which Falcons is not out. They're down to the lower bracket. If they do manage to beat Tundra tomorrow, which make sure you guys are there, follow the channel so you don't miss it, they're going to have to adjust their lanes, because I feel like these 2 games, I think the ideas are there, but they don't quite get enough out of the lanes to then act on it. And this time they just had to drag out the game, hoping to eventually find something, but Spirit just never gave it to them.
They also, I mean, they did a good job early on trying to shut down this Pangolier with some sick rotations, but then you kind of see the weakness of the Bloodseeker eventually. Like, he is a hero where if you don't find the Rupture onto the Pango, or in what ended up happening the rest of this game, he's just getting picked off. Like, they're specifically hunting for him around the map, and when you lose your Crimson Guard and your Halberd and your Guardian Greaves for these fights, you can't actually take any engagement against Spirit, and it's just such a difference going into the late game. And yeah, we can see right here the breakdown in stats. I mean, most of the damage this game actually comes from the sniper, right? Like, Laurel is top damage by a significant margin. And we were wondering, you know, like, maybe you hold snapping your heroes, like, or picking your heroes in the draft so you can kind of get a better idea of where these are going to go, like whether it's mid lane or, you know, sniper or shaker. But they just, you know, Falcons felt like this was the better options. Laurel gets to play sniper and has a pretty chill game.
Yeah, that's the ideal sniper game, where they can't get to you and you just get to A-click and lift your hands off the keyboard. Like, I'm a great player. But Radon, also a great player. The Juggernaut, we weren't so sure on it. It's not so common to see. I think he did an amazing job itemizing for the play style he needed to have, which is just, I know they're gonna split push. I also need to split push. He sees that he cannot be killed as long as he has teleport TP, and so he constantly went to the enemy's half of the map. He is twin gating over to cut creep waves, farm their jungle. That leaves space for Sniper. Guys, in your pub games, if you play Juggernaut, you got to do this kind of stuff, because if you farm your own jungle, then Sniper has nothing to farm, and then Laurel wouldn't be there with the top net worth damage because he got all his items. So Juggernaut is one of the carries who can threaten this. Lifestealer's another with Rage. So great on them to identify that so quickly. And then, you know, the double boots build, it looks funny, but it's perfect for what he's doing.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, anyone who wants to get involved in these games today with 1xBet, you can go ahead and check the pinned message there in chat. But yeah, I have to say, like, the Radon might be the best carry in terms of knowing how to itemize for a game, right? Because there's a lot of things that go into being a good carry player, but this is something I see consistently out of him, and it's just the idea of going into an early Boots of Travel, going back for the bots too, of course, to be able to rotate and gank with his Earthshaker, who, you know, is all over the map. You're taking advantage of like the ninja gear that they picked up. Like, it's so cool, and Team Spirit once again just impresses with their team play.
Yeah, when Radon's looking good, and I think the reason he has so many fans is that he's a more active carry, but on the very safe side of it. He like does as much as he thinks he can do. In this game, we see the Jug split pushing with the TP spin, knowing he's always safe to do that, and he plays aggressively for his team. Other times, like I remember when Shadowblade was a better item, he would be Terrorblade looking around to kill people with Shadowblade, which is like, what Terrorblade does? Why isn't he just AFK farming? He's like, no, I can kill people. I'm gonna go look for people to do it, right? Like, that's one of his strengths as a carry player.
Yeah. And here we are at the playoff bracket. Spirit in the grand finals now. The question tomorrow, whether or not Falcons or Tundra will be the team to join them. Now, Zach and I actually will be the ones bringing you that action tomorrow morning, so you guys can make sure to come back here. We'll have the schedule. Yep, there we go. Tundra versus Falcons. Bright and early, followed up by the grand finals. It's going to be some sick games. You guys definitely want to make sure to come back in and watch those, show some support for these teams. And I'm excited. It should be a lot of fun. I think after this series, it might be a lot closer of a lower bracket finals than I'm expecting. I think a lot of people would have said, yeah, Falcons going right through the upper bracket, but it's going to be close.
Yeah, Spirit's looking in very good form lately, so whoever makes it through is going to have a tough battle ahead of them.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, everyone. It's been an amazing day here. It's been a long day for these teams, so we are going to bring it to a close. We want to say thank you all so much for tuning in. As always, have a wonderful evening. Make sure to come back here tomorrow for more Dota action on the FISSURE Universe Episode 3. My name's Cryptic. I've been here with Z Quixotics. We'll see you tomorrow.